there was an idea
to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they need us, we could fight the battle
that they never could.
This is the Stadia Initiative. You are listening to the Stadia Initiative podcast. My name is Brian. This is episode 5 entitled Table for Six. And it's time to assemble everybody. Germani, also known as 64, here on YouTube. How are you, sir?
Doing wonderful, wonderful. Ready for another beautiful, beautiful TSI.
There you go. Forgot to mention today's date is Friday, June 12th, 2020. Meg, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good. Thank you.
Good to hear. Eddie, also known as the Flash. Hulk. He's wearing a Flash shirt. Eddie, how are you doing?
Hulk Flash.
Yeah, well, I could see a crossover on that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be a dope ass crossover.
Speaking of crossovers, Chase and MM know about this. We might have an X-Men group, by the way.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes. Chase, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm glad to be back. It's been 2 weeks of not getting to talk with all of you, my amazing castmates, and I'm excited about this one. We got some stuff to talk about. So
yeah, it's very nice that Google waits for the news to drop the week we do TSI, so then we have awesome stuff to talk about. Last time they had to connect, and then whatever. MM2K, round us off. How are you doing, buddy? It's been a while.
Zombie Nets.
It's back. Well, there it is.
I was shooting zombie nets on The Last of Us as well. I remember at the moment.
Shoot them zombies. I am excited for that, by the way, but we'll talk about the PlayStation 5 event. This is actually a good plug because we're going to be talking about in the VIP after show, which is exclusive to YouTube folks that join us. We'll talk about the PlayStation 5 event. We're going to talk about a question I want to put out there. Exclusives we want to take from other gaming companies and bring to Stadia. Obviously, it's just like a wish list of sorts. And then we'll do Ask TSI, where you guys can just ask us questions. And then much more. That's how you plug these things, right? But we also did a little side mission podcast today where I kind of take 1 or 2 or 3 or however many I want to take from this little show that we do here, and we invite some other guests throughout the world of Stadia to talk a specific topic. First episode we did Serious Sam and exclusives, and then today we did communication breakdown within Stadia, and we did that with Chris and Richie over at the Sounds of Stadia. I think it was a pretty good talk. Chase and MM2K joined me for that one. It's a very, very good talk. You can find that here on youtube.com/Club Stadia. And then one last plug. Tomorrow at 12 noon Central Time, I'll be doing a charity stream for Black Lives Matter. We'll be doing Just Dance. I'm finally going to dance for the public. It's going to be embarrassing. But by the time you listen to this on podcast platforms, you can watch that on delay. So I think that's enough for my plugs. Before we get too far, let's go ahead and plug your guys' channel. So if people listen to us late and they doze off at some point, it is what it is. Jeremiah, where can people find you on the world of social media?
So you can find me on youtube.com/LXIV Gold. And my Twitter has actually been changed to LXIV Gold as well. So even across the board, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
love it, man.
Everyone keeps changing their Twitters. Chase, we might need to step up our game.
Yeah, I got to step up my game.
Step it up, brother.
Everyone keeps rebranding over here. Meg, where can people find you?
YouTube.com/MegatronX, and my Twitter is Meg_Atron_X.
X.
I wish
Eddie.
it could be the same, but somebody already took it.
X gonna give it to you.
I know the feeling. Eddie, where can people find you? Because I think you rebranded since the last time we spoke on this podcast.
So that was a slight change. My YouTube handle right now, it's EddiePlayer1. You can find it here.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, there's an underscore that I need to put it there, but that's my YouTube channel. You can find it at youtube.com/EddiePlayer1.
Perfect.
Or EddiePlayer1.com.
There you go. Chase, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at youtube.com/Stadia Talk, and you can find me on Twitter at Phantom UFC Fan. And no, Duncan, that is not Manchester United, so knock it off.
All right, MM2K, once again, round us off, man.
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna take a while. No, broadbandbullies.com, pntsnetwork.com. You can catch me on Twitch. I forgot what the hell that is. Stadia Dosage on YouTube, MM2K on YouTube, and here with my TSI friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna find it for you. I believe it's Mighty Most 2000, is it not?
Something, yeah, I gotta change that stuff.
Soon to be changed.
Yeah, that's a needed rebrand right there.
Mighty Most, that's fire though. That's just,
I like it's just too damn long in my memory. I forget halfway going through it, mighty, and I forget.
yeah, I feel yeah.
All right, let's exit out of that. Could you guys hear that?
The silence.
No.
Or the silence.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
like,
like, oh, my sound died.
No, okay.
Did you see his face? It was almost like, class, be quiet.
Silence. All right. So we're gonna do a little thing we do at the beginning usually, and that's kind of just get to know each other for you guys. So the question I had for the panel this time around. We're all here on YouTube, obviously, and we all have YouTube content we watch throughout the world, whether it's gaming, sports, news, technology, whatever the case may be. Do you guys have a favorite non-Stadia YouTuber? It could be a PlayStation, it could be Xbox, it could be, football, baseball, tech breakdown, stuff like that. Do you guys have one? Chase, I'll start with you because I bet you have an easy answer right away.
Can it be a brand that is also smaller? I would say they're smaller. They are a YouTuber, but it's a group of individuals.
Why not?
Okay. I love Chrome Unboxed. I talk about him all the time. Robbie Payne is one of the best tech breakdown specialists in the industry. No questions asked for me. I love their content. That's mine.
Well said. MM2K, how about you?
Me, because I'm on.
Wait a minute.
I'm on GFN now, because it's Cyberpunk now. I kid.
GFN Dosage.
I kid. I know that was horrible. No, this may not be fair, but the guy's just too damn funny. Next Gen 720. He's side splitting. It's very raunchy. It's not for the faint of heart. But I mean, he's like, I can't describe it. He takes the most mundane subject matter and turns it into like a 4-hour comedy show. So if you're in a bad mood and you just want to laugh and you just want to see a bunch of us just poke fun at each other for several hours talking video games, then definitely check out Next Gen 720 on in Broadband Bullies. He is by far the funniest, I think, YouTube entertainer out there.
Nicely put. Eddie, how about you?
Best.
You don't have one?
It's like I'm looking at my whole subscription list. There are so many good things, man, and I don't even know how to start. Like, we can go to a genre which is video games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have a few streamers. I have people who do reviews of video games. I have Portuguese. I have in English. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna highlight one category here because that has helped me a lot, which is the channel Alpha Gaming on YouTube, and by Harris Heller.
Yeah, he's really good.
The blonde guy, but everything he put it there, it helped my stream get to the next level in terms of either gear, how to use gear, and designs and etc. Having some stuff working on OBS, everything I learned over there. So Alpha Gaming, youtube.com/Alpha Gaming.
There you go. Yeah, he's definitely a big help. So if you're an aspiring YouTuber or even a current one, I absolutely recommend watching his stuff because it is very, very helpful. Nick Nimmon's another one I think would be under that name. Yep. So
Nick's pretty good.
Or if
a video from Alpha actually the other day, he helped me out with a lot of different gear and everything. I was like, wow. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's got his like hair blonde and his yeah.
But in the same genre, there's another guy. It's a smaller YouTuber. It's like he has maybe 10K. It's called Nutty. It was Nutella Forever, which is his Twitch handle, but he rebranded to Nutty, Nutty, and on the same things that Harry Heller do, but he has a deep dive on some very interesting OBS plugins. And man, he helped me a lot with when I had the crappy microphone, it sounded a little bit better because he taught me how to EQ and etc.
Yeah. Meg, how about you? You have plenty of time to think, so you better have one.
Okay, so I do. I have an all-time favorite Twitch streamer.
Okay.
And I know that you all have heard of him, and it is pure entertainment and pure awesome. Violence, speed, momentum, Dr. Disrespect. So I absolutely love his stuff. He is hilarious. He is over the top.
It's the mustache, isn't it?
Oh my God, everything. High quality streams, like just fantastic. I never get tired of him. So and definitely one of my, like, I watch a lot of his stuff. I was like, I could do this. I could stream. Maybe not as over the top. And also Tim the Tap Man. I don't know if you guys know Tim the Tap Man. I get my vibes for my channel from Tim. He's super chill and just doesn't get worked up, like just chilling out all day. So yeah, those guys, they're really those are like the two top streamers probably over there right now, but I do really like their stuff.
You know, Dr. Disrespect, I really didn't catch start watching his content until he started spoofing Gears 5, and he was talking about slide all over the place. You slide. It's the hilarious shit. I mean, stuff. Darn it.
Write it down, Cap. Write it down.
I'm sorry.
Mag,
if you haven't seen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna ask Maggie if when she have her Hage are inspired by Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Your Hage moments are.
Yeah, well, I've seen him lose it on games so much, and I was channeling my inner Doc when I went off on PUBG that time because it's the worst. And he hates that game too, and I'm on his side in that instance. So.
Stop it! Stop trying to validate.
No, he hates every game he plays, so it's not. Sorry, I just punched my mic. He rants about the bad side of every game. So yeah, no, it's all good.
Oh, he loves battle royale games, doesn't he?
Oh my God, he loves
his mind.
Yeah, he does. He really does. But it's cool. He's cool, and he was a level designer as well for Call of Duty or something. Yep. So he has a little bit of insider perspective as well, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, he's just ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
Germani.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop 3 of them that are pretty entertaining. They're all in the gaming space too. Clocked It. This guy does. He's a smaller channel, much smaller channel, but the guy does like really, really good in-depth history on games. He's a physical collector, and he can just break down these games to the core. He can tell you great stories on his history with the games, and he does really good editing. He's funny. He has like a real dry delivery in his humor, and he's pretty damn funny, man. He dropped this video not too long ago on the 20th anniversary, or for the 20th anniversary of Perfect Dark, and he had dropped in his link an article that interviewed a lot of the guys that were involved with making GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, and a ton of other games at Rare during the time. So after 20 years of history, all this is unloaded. So just watching I would have never known about it had he not shared it. So I love going to his channel for that kind of content, And then I like Player Essence as well. He's mainly like a Nintendo guy. Okay. But I mean, I've watched his channel grow, and I've watched his hustle and his grind and him building his community. And I really appreciate that. I really just love seeing him, going to his channel and just seeing how he's just upgraded and just continue to iterate and grow that space. Another guy like for just being like crazy, wacky, a crazy personality and just being able to come off the cuff is what's this guy's name? I can't remember. Oh, Michael Does Life. I don't know if you guys know about this dude. Michael Does Life. He just, I don't know, the way he just delivers on what he's talking about. You almost can't tell if he's serious or if he's playing. You know what I mean? Right. But at the end of the day, it's very entertaining, and he is just very witty on delivering his stuff. Man, he did a live stream not too long ago. I was a part of it. He was really fun. Yeah. So those are 3 people that I really enjoy. Yeah.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. I'm going to steal what Germani did and a little bit of what Eddie did. So I got 3 as well. The first one I'm kind of stealing off of Eddie is because these guys kind of helped me like start with like content creating a few years ago when I started doing Twitch stuff. Professor Broman and his brother T-Rex are Destiny 2 streamers primarily. And here on YouTube, they have this long series of like things to do when it becomes like becoming a content creator, streaming on Twitch and stuff like that. And that was a big help for me starting off because, I mean, if you're just starting streaming, I mean, if you're a little responsible, you might look into what you should and shouldn't do, like go into people's chats, be like, hey, watch my stream. That's a do not do kind of thing. Learning stuff like that. Just kind of being patient when it comes to becoming a bigger creator, and the fact that you may not ever become one, which that's okay. We're not going to all be there. So, but it was very helpful for me for that. And then just kind of like in the entertainment side, Game Theory is probably one of my longest running subscriptions I've had on YouTube. Awesome series of Matt Pat's a guy who does all these huge theories of all these games, whether it's involving science, math. I'm sure if you're on YouTube, you've heard of one or seen one at some point.
Oh yeah.
And then my last one would be the Wolf Den, which is a Nintendo Switch primarily channel, and they also do comic stuff as well. And they're really, really awesome dudes too. So
yeah, just remembering that the Game Theory was there announcing Stadia.
Yes. Matt Pat was at the Stadia. Was that GDC?
Yeah, back in March.
Yes, he was. So a lot of that. So I think it rounds up for our favorite creators that are outside the Stadia community. Even though I guess technically Matt Pat was in that. And Mamatron X is in the chat, by the way. Hello,
Hi, Mom.
Hi,
Hello.
Mom.
Hey, Mama Tron.
Before we get there, or to our next topic, Derek Graham dropped a $2 super chat. I want to thank you for your support.
Thanks,
And,
Derek.
That's
Yes.
every time we see those, we're always humbled. And that's the quickest way of putting it without going into a 20-minute spiel about how awesome you guys are. So next up on the list, what have you guys been playing? I mean, we'll kind of rapid fire this because I think we got some pretty meaty topics to talk about. So I guess we can just throw out the game we've been playing and just kind of go from there. And we'll move on to one of the bigger news items just in gaming in general that involves Stadia. So Germani, what game have you been playing lately?
What game?
Let's just try and narrow it down instead of the 30 you listed last time. What's been your favorite game you've been playing?
He just grabbed the Holy Scrolls.
Yeah.
The
I got like
Dead Sea Scrolls.
Where to
ton of
start?
games. Yeah.
Number one,
I got them
Where
halfway
must I
down. I got
start?
literally.
Chase.
Okay.
He pulls out the Jericho list of 1,000 holds.
Yeah.
He just
I'm
picked up my
telling you.
script.
I'm
Number
telling you.
one, armbar.
He
What
just picked up the
game?
script for the Tonight Show. Holy
Well,
shit.
we'll just keep it simple. I'll just say, we know I played Power Rangers with everybody last week.
Yeah, that was a cool stream.
That was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
And then, of course, today, Little Nightmares. We'll keep it simple. I've been playing some damn games, y'all. But yeah, Little Nightmares. Yeah,
Your
Little
game?
Nightmares. Huh? Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah.
hey, hold on. We do have to throw a quick special shout out in there. Astroneer is amazing.
Oh,
he
yeah.
sold me on that game.
Right,
oh,
Jace?
God.
Yeah, get
That's
involved.
on Game Pass, right?
Been playing it a lot. Yeah, I don't know if it could be on Game Pass.
I'll have to check
I
on
don't
it.
think it is. I don't
Yeah.
think
Trade
so.
I've already had it, so I don't know. I got it
Figure it
everywhere. Everywhere you can get it, I got it. Except
Chat,
for
if you're familiar with Astroneer, is it on Game Pass? Because then I will download it later. Meg, what have you been playing lately?
Red Dead and Destiny. I got re-addicted to Red Dead and I got re-hyped about Destiny. So I did a little mission on Destiny last night with the touchpad of this new
How the
thing.
hell is that?
So I think that's on the roster to talk about later, maybe the news of that. So I'll tell you guys more about how that went later.
It's a good plug. Eddie, what have you been
Stay
playing?
tuned.
Besides,
Can I go-
stealing
can I go last?
demos from people.
Yeah, I wanted to go last because I would already plug that, but I have been playing The Crew and Malacca.
Assassin's Creed.
nice.
Good job, Miss Theos. Chase, you're up.
3 games. I'll talk about the 2 real quick that I played the most of. So PUBG, of course, I've been still rocking that. Destiny 2, I got back into playing a lot of Crucible this week and was having a lot of fun. I've actually missed playing Crucible on Destiny. It's been good. And the game that I've really been enjoying, I'm not going to lie to you all, has been Super Hot. I am addicted to that right now.
Great game.
I've been putting in at least 2 hours of that game each night. I'm on the level right now where you have to jump over the car. And I keep messing up. Rookie mistakes.
That game is dope, though.
Yeah, it is, man.
MM, round us off. What I say that every time. MM, let's go, baby. So
I've just been spending a few quick moments on this game called Orphe. No, let me stop. No, Division 2. I've been doing some cleanup stuff behind the scenes, and it's so easy for me to get in Division 2 and get my ass handed to me. I just do that. So,
all right. So, Eddie,
Brian, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Can I just before we talk about that? I have a question to remember about Division 2. Did you saw that they're pushing a huge update soon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're reverse nerfing a lot of stuff too. I saw that. It was crazy. Yeah, they're making a whole bunch of stuff more powerful, which I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I like the challenge. I like the challenge. You know what I mean? So,
I saw earlier today on Twitter the Division 2 tweeted something. The title update number 10 is coming soon. So they went over talking about season 2 and some other stuff. But it's a living title that will continue to go on for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. We ready to go?
Yep.
I think it's time, Eddie. It is time. So we were blessed, I guess is the best way of putting this, with an interesting thing falling into the Stadia store. And there's always one person looking in the all games section almost every single minute, it seems. And we found out there's something called Orpheus. Am I saying that correctly, folks?
Yep.
Right.
All right. Something called Orpheus in the store. It was very brief. Like the description was like, what, a little adventure you can play or something like that. Does I remember what it said? Like in the description box. It was pretty brief. Well, anyway, it was like, okay, what's this? Everyone click claim. Or not claim it, actually buy for $0. And we all found out it's Gods and Monsters, which is one of Ubisoft's most anticipated new IPs that is set to come out soon. And right at first, I don't think it was playable, but after a couple of minutes, it became playable. And our friend Eddie, sitting in here with us, had a little video on Twitter that went pretty viral that Kotaku picked it up. And it was gameplay from the 2019 E3 demo, which is what we found out eventually. Eddie, what were your first impressions of what pretty much looked like a Breath of the Wild Assassin's Creed mashup?
You described it perfectly. So at first I was very, very excited when I got into the game. I was in a chat with a few people, including Chase here. And I got into the game. So after struggling a little bit to get into the game, I was finally able to get it. And then first thing I did was doing a 360, looking at everything around me, and the game looked beautiful, very beautiful. And you're right, it has absolutely Breath of the Wild vibe. And on my tweet that I posted, 35-second clip, I was still getting to know the mechanics. I posted a tweet. Maybe 2 minutes after I posted the tweet, they already shut down the game. So nobody else had the chance to play. I did the video earlier today with Link. Link had a little bit more run into it. He played for about 8 minutes. He didn't get into combat mode, but the game looked amazing. And just the graphic style, it's something that will attract a lot of people, especially the ones who are Nintendo fans or Zelda fans. And I didn't.
Dramani's drooling on camera, folks. If you're just
myself right now, I'm just excited to see more. Comes July 12th, when we're gonna have Ubisoft Forward, an event on the Summer of Gaming or Game Summer, Summer Fest games. I don't know the names of the festival.
Yeah, it changes every week, I think. Go ahead.
But I'm excited to see more, and I think it's gonna be a huge success. New IP,
so
huge potential.
Was that the only clip that anyone knows of that appeared online was yours? Or did someone else have like a stream going on too? Or
not a stream. If you go on YouTube still, you will find a few.
Really? Okay.
If you search for Gods and Monsters on YouTube, you may see some clips. But the thing is, our friends at Stadia Source had a clip themselves. They posted on their website.
Yep.
They posted on their YouTube channel. and Ubisoft got in touch with them asking to be removed.
No, I think they got a strike first, didn't they? For the YouTube video, and then on the website itself, I think they did too. But yeah, we aren't. I'm not going to look for a clip and risk that here. So if you want to find out, just YouTube it. Maybe it's still there. So within like the game menus, it was still pretty like Assassin's Creed, like assets still using there because the loading screen is obviously Odyssey. Even just like the main game UI when you're playing, it says like new quest. It looked very much like Odyssey did. So I mean, did everything just look like it was just kind of like painted differently, just in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or? A
lot of placeholders, I would say, were Odyssey. If you realize on my clip that was on Twitter that I deleted earlier today, when I died, it was the same sound that when you die on Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
So
I hear that a lot.
Looking at the elements of like the quests.
Mm-hmm.
There was Cassandra.
Yeah.
So you see that clearly was some placeholders inspired by Assassin's Creed.
I imagine they just pretty much copied the code over and just kind of wanted to like erase as they went and just like replace what they did, because that or they just had an idea that they want to get at E3 last year and that was the easiest, quickest way to do it. Then again, I don't know game development and how it starts. Maybe they always do this kind of thing with new IPs and stuff like that. But that could be it. But there was as well one thing that people kept saying is the stamina, which was showing in the circle just as in Breath of the Wild as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're not even trying to not copy. That was a blatant rip.
It looks like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. All right, so we'll open up to the table here. MM2K, what are your initial thoughts on the gameplay you saw? I mean, obviously this is early alpha stuff, so we can't like look at it and be like, "Oh, this game looks like it sucks." I mean, we can't do that. So I mean, just like the I guess the aesthetics of it, is this something that looks interesting to you? Breath of the Wild, is that a game that you've had any experience with or desire to play?
I think he said he'd be right back.
Did I miss that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Chase.
Yeah, he did. He was like,
Chat, that's why I didn't.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. Chat. Chase, rather. How about that question to you?
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely an art style that I like. I mean, I don't own a Switch. It's something that I've always wanted to own. I just didn't have the funds to purchase one. Zelda's a game I've been wanting to play, and it has the exact same art style, so I'm excited about it. You know, I like open world types of RPGs, those large scale MMOs. I know this isn't going to be exactly that, but you know, I still think it's going to be a good game. One thing that was interesting about all this too is Ubisoft actually, I put this in our private chat, but Ubisoft actually came out and said that they may not be showing this game at the Ubi event coming up in July, that it's likely not going to be shown, and they have retitled the game. So that's another interesting development. I'm trying to find the article now where I saw that, because I'm
looking at one right now that says exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, so they have apparently gone to the drawing board and completely revamped some things with this. I was kind of shocked by that quote, by the way. One, that we weren't going to see anything potentially in July, and then two, that they were completely retitling the game. That was a complete shocker to me out of left field.
Yeah. Here's the bit you're just referring to. Ubisoft clarified the end of summer does not mean the Ubisoft Forward event in July. Kotaku apologized for there.
The game formerly known. There it is. Go further down.
Oh, yep, there it is.
So do you think Orpheus is the new name or the code name?
I think that was the code name too, wasn't it?
Code name.
It's
yeah,
a code name. Okay, that's what I thought.
Project Orpheus.
Yes.
And they apparently have retitled that now too, so that people can't catch on. So I mean,
well, now we're gonna know that there's like some other random title, like, oh, that must be Gods and Monsters again. They got us again.
God.
Meg, what were your first impressions? I assume you saw Eddie's clip before he took it down.
I did, yes. I saw Eddie's, and I also saw Link's little gameplay that he did.
Perfect.
He shared that with me, which was super awesome and exciting. I think it looks awesome. I don't know anything about this game. I haven't read this article. To me, it looks like an MMORPG, just the way it was laid out, and it also reminded me hardcore of Fortnite, which I never liked games that had that sort of aesthetic.
Yeah.
Until I got addicted to Fortnite, and now I don't mind it as much. And I just found like all the colors really nice and appealing. I wish we had seen like even just a little bit of combat. Would have been so cool. Link summoned a mount. I don't know if you guys saw that, a fiery mount, a horse, and was riding it around. And I was in love with this game already. I'm totally down. I will be getting it and playing it. I can't wait for it. I'm really excited.
Absolutely. Dan, I'm sorry. I just catch up with the sentence here of back during E3 in 2019, describing. No, wait. Oh, it's the paragraph below, Brian. Sorry.
Scroll down. There you go.
Our vision for the game, formerly known as Gods and Monsters, has evolved in surprising ways, which is common when developing exciting new worlds.
There you go.
So probably the game is going to be renamed as well. If they're saying formerly known as, no, this is shocking news.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was saying, Eddie. When I read this is the article I read, and I meant to write this article down so when we talked about this I could bring it up. But of course, Brian, being awesome as he always is, he's captain. This is crazy stuff. I had no idea that they were even considering doing this.
So go ahead, Eddie.
And the final at the end of the article, they say. They will show something at the end of the summer. And he clarified that the end of the summer does not mean they will be forward event. So if they're saying end of the summer,
that could be September, folks.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are going to correct me on my whole, June 9th is not the summer, so there can't be a Connect on June 9th. So yes, summer goes into like, I don't know, middle of September. One thing we finally got confirmation on within this actual article here, there's more than 5 gamers that play on Stadia. There's at least a few hundred, so enough of that terrible rhetoric. A Google Stadia rep told Kotaku via email a few hundred gamers were able to play for less than 30 minutes, which is kind of amazing that so many people were able to find out about this and play it within the 30 minutes it was in the store, which is... Maybe there's a lot more people than people think they're on Stadia and just look at the store every single day. So, I mean, that's exciting.
The other part that is interesting here is that Google took the blame.
Yes, and we're going to talk about a specific aspect of that. I want to get the first impressions out of the way first, though.
Right.
Germani, go ahead and you haven't gone yet, right?
No,
I'm losing track. I'm all over the place right now, kind of just doing all this. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I did see it briefly, Eddie. I saw that you tweeted it out, but I was going to go actually look at a video. I assumed that you had a video online or on YouTube, but I guess that was the only video that you had was on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked at it. I was like, doing a bunch of stuff, and I had to look at it. And I was like, I like it. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So I didn't really get to look at the first time I get to look at it. Really was just now on a YouTube video, and I'm kind of going back. I don't know if that's your gameplay. Were you?
No, my gameplay is not over YouTube, but yes, there are some other.
He did a swan dive into the floor about.
Yeah, I remember seeing it, but from what I can see, now it does look a lot like a Breath of the Wild clone, which is, I would think is a really good thing because you're gonna start seeing a lot of Breath of the Wild clones, at least under the hood. A lot of open world games are gonna try to. They need to move in that direction. So that's a great sign for open world games moving forward at the very least. I'll say that much. Yeah.
MM2K, what were your first impressions?
My first impressions was like, holy crap, they made a mistake. Let me get some gameplay out of this game as soon as possible. And what I was able to do was I was able to boot up. I booted up like by this fountain in this tower. And I went to go do some stuff. And then it said game is offline. But from what I could journey and see, it's the Breath of the Wild. That's the first thing I said. I said, holy cow, this is fantastic. Having something like that on Stadia, that would be a plus. And it was very good to see how well it performed. I mean, we're not shocked about it, but I think that would be a great thing for them to showcase how well it performed too on the platform.
Absolutely. Let's give some shout outs to the community here because we have missed quite a few super chats that just kind of thank people for. Black Kai, 1/3 of the awesome trinity known as This Week on Stadia, dropped a $10 super sticker. Appreciate that. He said he wants boss tier. We don't do that here, do we? We don't do that here. And then Ray, because he's Ray, dropped 3 $20 super chats. So he dropped a total of $6. The gaming cyborg is
man, it's bananas,
too much.
Man. Thank you.
Much, man. And then Derek brought us a second super chat, and he threw another $5 and said, consoles are just too dang expensive. And I think we're about to find out how expensive here very shortly, considering the PS5 and the Series X soon. Okay, so my next question about gods and monsters, unless you guys have any additional first impression comments you want to throw out there. Was this an accident?
Yeah.
Was this actually an accident? Because this is why does Stadia have their hands on a E3 demo? And of all days, on the day PlayStation's having their huge event where the world eyes are on the gaming community, was this an accident?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really made me think like that to ask that question. I mean, I don't know, man. I can't see it as an accident. I think that it was like, hey, man, just give them something to talk about.
Here's why I think it was an accident. A lot of us haven't seen it, but who was that? Was that Hermondo? Somebody had sent me links a while ago to where Stadia during Comic-Con of last year was going around showing people a whole bunch of stuff, and they were showing people some stuff behind closed doors. First and foremost, it was Doom Eternal, and people were playing Doom Eternal native 4K 60. Digital Foundry even came out and said, hey, look, from every little monocle that we could pull out from all of our nerd pockets, this looked like 4K 60 and, native 4K. And then you had people from Gamertag Radio talking about the stuff they were showing. I think that this was just there's a bunch of stuff sitting in a pot ready to go. And for whatever reason, I think a lot of it is because of the third party, but for whatever reason, it's toxic for it to be associated to Stadia right now. And I think this was just some of the stuff that was being demoed. And maybe Stadia themselves are saying, hey, look, I know there's a lot of people. I know that you voted for Yang Ye for president of the world, but please believe us, this platform works. Here goes Gods and Monsters. Sign this NDA, but here goes Gods and Monsters working on our platform. You know what I mean? So
Link brought this up. This is awesome thing he said. The speed from just buying and playing without downloading, you could not do this on a console or PC. So
exactly.
Let's imagine this leak happened on PlayStation. I don't know how big this demo file actually was. So I mean, if it was like a gigabyte, maybe, but anything bigger than 5, you might be waiting long enough that at that point it won't work. So I mean, this is a good point. Like, I mean, this is kind of just us trying to take advantage of a system that appeared to be an accident. So I mean, that being said, I mean, there's merit to the speed of just purchasing a game and just jumping right in. I mean, you just can't find that anywhere else without having to blow into a cartridge.
But Brian, let me geek it out here just for a second.
Sure.
If this thing that happens on, let's say, a PlayStation, where you ended up being on a PlayStation store, and you ended up downloading it, to correct the mistake that somebody did, they will need to launch a patch to when somebody tries to open the game again, it would connect to the patch and would make the game not work.
Well,
right now on Stadia, they probably, let's shut this down. That's probably, I don't know if it's on the notes or not, I don't remember, but Stadia was offline for about 10-15 minutes yesterday. When just after the Gods and Monsters came out of the store, the Stadia was offline as well. So I don't know if it was them trying to shut down everything so we can remove that game in every single session that people are playing this game, or if I'm being paranoid or something else. But that's the thing. Once the game is on cloud and this kind of mistakes happen, they can simply go pull the plug, and whoever is playing that game will stop playing that game forever. It's not they will have a physical copy of that game.
You're scaring me, Eddie. You're scaring me.
So before when they took it down, was the app unavailable too? Like you couldn't go into the store at all, or was it just playing a game you couldn't do?
So, go ahead, Chase.
Oh, well, so the sequence of events is actually a little. I was going to put the timeline together. So Orpheus dropped, then we played it. Whoever had access to it for about 10 minutes. Then it went offline. Then they didn't shut the system down and remove the game. They already removed it from the store before the system was shut down. Mm-hmm. They had it completely off of the store. I don't know if the store or the system shutting down necessarily was tied to that. Like we were all having conspiracy theories, even me, that maybe they got hacked and that somebody was doing some kind of an attack and they were trying to get the system to drop down. Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, I think it's an accident because Ubisoft has made it very clear that they're using Stadia to do real-time beta testing and actually, play testing with users because it makes it easier to scale it versus having to have physical boxes go out to people. So I just think somebody flipped the wrong switch is basically what happened. That was never intended to go out. Stadia, whoever did it, they probably got a strong talking to and they told him, cut it out. Don't do that again. It's like, it was a week for Stadia, like where, one thing just after another just kept snowballing. So,
yep. That's fair. Meg, was this an accident?
Yeah, I definitely think it was an accident. I think they like Chase said, they're using they're using Stadia for playtesting, so they've got to have a way for people at home to access it. And I think they just messed up and accidentally put it live when it wasn't supposed to be. Years ago, I worked in a call center and we were in a training environment, and somehow the trainer messed it up and clicked the wrong thing, and we accidentally started taking live calls for real. And like, it just is that easy. So yeah, I think it's something similar. Someone just hit the wrong button. I can't imagine, especially with the game in the state that it was, I can't imagine that they did it on purpose. Like it was kind of a mess. There was like so many obvious placeholders and like just stuff happening that I don't think they would, if it was on purpose, they would have at least made it something better. Do you know what I mean? And like, they wouldn't want to show us all the dirty, like how they use everything from Odyssey as a placeholder. Like they wouldn't want to show that. I wouldn't want to show my half finished work to the world like that. So I think it was definitely like an accident.
So to piggyback off that, Brian, was your question, do we think that it was an accident from Google or an accident from Ubisoft or both?
Google.
Well, I mean, Google's the one that flips the switch to bring the game in, right? So I guess technically it'd be Google, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
and they apologized. They apologized publicly, like we saw in that article for it. And I don't think that they would have taken the blame if it wasn't them. Yeah. Although maybe they just did to make Ubisoft kind of save face, say, yeah, sorry about that. It was their platform that it came out on, right?
Nobody saved face. They haven't helped me. So that was definitely
it was their definitely.
Yeah, they're quick to point the finger. They're like, hey,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
McSetty makes a good point. I think actually he's right. Now that I think about it, I think he's right. That's probably exactly, and Eddie just said it too. So I think that's right. That's what it was.
Yeah, we fucked up. So, have you guys seen anything negative, like from just like the outside gaming community about this? What have you guys seen?
Every article, for the most part.
In what way?
I've been looking forward to that.
They've just said that Stadia goofs again, or another article said Stadia pisses off Ubisoft, or Stadia strains their relationship with Ubisoft. There's always some kind of negative byline with this stuff, you know.
Yeah, nobody. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Meg.
I don't agree with it, but
I think they're right. Like Google leaked their game early and a bunch of people got to see something that they weren't ready to show the world. So I think it's fair to say, yeah, you messed up, and maybe they're casting it in a more negative light by being like, oh, another in a long string of mistakes or whatever. But in this instance, yeah, Google was bad. They shouldn't. I would feel awful if I were working on that game and it was in that state and a bunch of people got to examine it before I was ready to show it to the world. I'd feel mad at Google. So
yeah.
I'm just curious.
So,
oh no,
Chris in the chat was.
Yes, Chris.
Oh man,
And it probably was just that simple too.
Exactly.
Right.
So if you're listening to us, Chris in the chat put like a fake conversation. A Google employee put. He said, "Hey Google, open game," and then the Google assistant says, "Okay, leaking game."
Abort!
I opened mine. Damn it.
Can you imagine them running from their little cubicle over to the hub, where all the network connectivity is, and they're trying to rip cords out?
Oh yeah, they're just pulling cords out. Yeah, but to Meg's point, Meg brings up an excellent point. Yeah, I think Ubisoft was pissed. We talked about this earlier, Brian and Chase, where they likely just call Eves because they have no PR. Eves had to call Phil Harrison and say, "You mother, get it together," and then they just said, shut it down, just shut down the whole thing till we get it fixed. But on the flip side of that, I wonder if those would have been the same articles. Let's just say if it leaked on Xbox, it would have said, "Oh, this doesn't look good for Xbox, but as far as gods and monsters is concerned, it looks like it's going to be a refreshing version of Breath of the Wild with such." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it just shows you that even though Google is messing up, we got to be able to walk and chew gum too. The puke pundits are still out there in abundance. They don't get an excuse or get a pass. That if it was on another platform, they would have been negative towards the platform that leaked it, but positive about being able to see the game early.
Yeah. So
Brian,
go ahead, Eddie.
I keep thinking of what you said. Can you imagine they had a bunch of meetings, brainstorm, and say, "All right, we're renaming the game to Orpheus," and now the name leakage. We gotta do this all over again. So,
I thought of that too.
So this is the receipt I got at the same time when I click on that purchase, and I purchased the game for $0, and then I was playing.
Yep.
Do you think people called the customer service like, "Yeah, I bought this game for $0 and it's not there anymore. Where is it?" I have the receipt.
Yeah, probably.
I have the receipt.
I have the receipts.
I got
And
the receipts.
I don't have my game anymore. What's that all about? All right. So I had another question about this because Raph brought this up. And now the Sounds of Stadia, who's in the chat, Richie and Chris, always listening, he says. A precursor to demos. Is this a good kind of... I mean, we found out about an APK 2 weeks ago that there's demos on its way. So, I mean, this is a precursor to that, is it not? This is how demos might work, is you buy it for $0 and just launch and play.
Yeah, I think it'd just be the claim. You claim it, you play it. Same. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, there it is.
Yeah.
That's what I thought with Stadia. There's no real.
The timing's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Good talk. So, how close to the release are we actually to this game? Do you guys think?
Yeah,
Very far.
That
was an old demo piece, though. I'm sure they have a new build. Yeah, they have a new build.
That was
that's an old build.
Yep, 2019.
2019, yeah.
Oh.
Yes, they weren't even working on that anymore. They have a whole new canvas they're working on with the same ideas, but yeah.
I wouldn't say so. Let me rephrase what I said far. I don't think it's coming out until either late spring 2021 or summer 2021. That's my guess.
No, Chase, that's too far.
Really? You think it's sooner than that? I think around that time too. And they said they're changing the name?
Yeah, I think they're probably in late stage alpha, early beta, this is what this. I was wrong because Eddie actually called me out in the live stream. I'm like, oh man, this kind of looks like it's just getting into a beta. And then when I saw that they had sandbox elements to just test things, I'm like, oh no, this is definitely an alpha. This is definitely an alpha.
So they should they're going with the name of the artist formerly known as Gods and Monsters as a game name. I think it'd be a good one. All right.
They've been advertising it. I hope it comes sooner because they've been advertising it. I don't think they should be advertising a game that much if we're gonna have to wait another year to get it. That's ridiculous. No. Legend of Zelda Orpheus.
Yeah, Chris from Sound of Data says the new game title will be Legend of Zelda Orpheus.
Good shout, Chris.
Or Legend of Orpheus. I mean, if you're just going to steal from Breath of the Wild, you might as well just go all in right there. So, yeah. All right. Any last words about Gods and Monsters? I mean, that was I think a pretty big talking point of the week for Stadia.
Right.
RIP Gods and Monsters 2019 E3 demo reel. Or RIP. That's the end of that thing. They're probably burning that thing.
Go ahead, Eddie.
I'm trying to find it here. I can't right now, which is the pre-order. Oh, not the pre-order. The demo list. When I'm meaning list, I'm looking at Stadia, and if you allow me, Brian, to share screen again, you see if you go to store and you just change the URL here, like here right now, I'm on list 12. It says early access. And we don't have early access yet, but
well, technically we do. We have to pay for it.
Isn't Ember?
Great on mobile.
Great on mobile.
Nothing here right now, but you can go
working on these different lists. So
you can continue moving on here. They will have a lot of different lists, but at least these lists are already available here. So they just need to move stuff, and we would see the other lists. But there is one list.
Oh, nice.
There's one list as well for demos. I'm just trying to remember which one it is.
Beautiful games.
I like beautiful. Yeah, that's what I like.
Ugly
games.
On YouTube. What about most popular?
Here we go.
There was
Most
one.
wished.
There was one. Most popular games.
32. Type in 32.
Most gifted, so we're gonna be able to gift games.
Type in 32, Eddie.
32.
Yep.
32.
No one's
Is it
excited
the
for
demo?
gifting. I'm excited to
Demos.
gift games.
No, I'm keeping them all for myself.
Oh yeah.
Demos. That's awesome.
And there are even like, I'm gonna go a little bit more advanced here. Action games.
Yeah.
So they're going John.
I love this that we can even do this, go through this, early.
Yeah, they're. Uh-oh.
Hold on, this one I got it wrong.
Eddie broke Stadia. First he leaks the game, and now
left the Matrix.
I think they did some coding, right, Eddie, to where, because there would be, if games would apply to that, it would actually show, and now there's nothing showing, right?
Yep. But these lists are already live in production. That's the thing, and there are other lists. So, like if I go here and I put for example 51. Yeah, it shows undefined. But if this is a job, Jam did a great video about it. But
he
just
did,
before I loaded it, shows here on the top of the tab, it says in this case Ultimate Editions. So there are a few lists that are still on the works, but there are a lot of public lists as well already, including 32 demos. So let's wait for the Summer Connect.
Type in 9 real quick.
I'm so excited, you guys. This is amazing.
I want to see if this pops up.
I want to play all the demos.
9 is pre-order.
And it's not. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll talk about pre-orders.
Right.
Because it's here. Is that next? No, not just yet. So.
Well, you did a great plug. We should do that.
You just want to go ahead and segue to that? I think it works.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. All right. Destiny 2 Beyond Light has been officially announced. I know some of you folks here are absolutely excited for it. So let's just click that, baby. Bam. Me chasing MM2K, we talked with Chris and Richie of Sounds kind of about the second half of the little title I put down here. But let's go with the initial thoughts here. The reason why I want to segue to it, because pre-ordering is now in the Stadia store for Destiny 2. Yeah. You really have to read to know that you're not buying the game and starting to play it now. You're pre-ordering it, but we'll get there. Destiny 2 Beyond Light. I mean, who here is a big Destiny person that is playing Destiny pretty frequently? I know Meg is, because you have immediate thoughts about Beyond Light and the reveal they had?
I'm excited for it, and I hope that they have taken all of what the community has said, because everybody has been saying the exact same thing about Destiny, and they listen to the community and they fix it somehow. In that this game is really hard for new players to get into. So I'm hoping that they have fixed that issue, because it's a really big problem. And even me, I've sunk a lot of hours into Destiny, and I still once or twice before the new season, I logged into play and was like, I literally don't know what to do. And I just went and played a different game. And when you first start and pick up this game as a new light player, which is like the free version, it's so confusing. Like, it's literally overwhelming. there's no clarity on what the story is, on where you are in the story, where your character fits in, on what your goals should be. Like it's a hot mess right now, honestly. So I really hope that with this Beyond Light thing, that they somehow clean up the new player experience, because a lot more people should be playing this game. It's a really, really good game. And as far as the little trailer that they did, I don't know. I haven't caught up on the latest expansion yet. So I'm trying to finish that so that I'm ready for this new content that comes out in September. So I am excited to check it out, but I do hope they've listened to the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the biggest complaint about Destiny 2 probably is not anything to do with the actual game itself. It's just like, it's very hard for a new person to jump in and get that experience. Like, where do I start?
Yeah, it is.
Like, I love the gameplay of the game, but I that's the exact problem I have with it. I just feel like I'm getting nowhere at the end of the day. So it's like, well, I'll pick it up to play just to have fun, shoot around.
Yep.
People, but other than that, I don't really take it too seriously because I just don't know what the hell to do. Like Bippity Bob showed me where to go to complete the main story. You have to go around the corner, back alley, past $10 to this dealer, and then he'll tell you the secrets to this other person. You go over here, hit the, and then now you're going to this person that's not a script to get to the main story. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I would have never figured this out. And
I have so many quests that just is a quest with no information over what to do. And I'm sick of Googling every step of the way, However, I streamed it recently. I did a little bit of gameplay, and then I picked up a bunch of people from chat, and we did a few rounds of Crucible, and it was awesome. Project Storm, are you still here? Nate was there. Link jumped in. Like, it was fun, right? So on that aspect, the gameplay is really, really fun. But if you're trying to get through the story, or if you're trying to work on your quests, like, you're out of luck. Like, you don't know what to do.
One of the things I've always had a problem with is because I used to play Destiny day in and day out. Again, I always talk about how my kids should have been taken away from me, but how I just how neglectful I was, and my whole focus was on that game. But that's the thing. Like, so as somebody who played Destiny day in and day out for every day, I want to say for almost a freaking year when Destiny 1 was out. And then for you to like maybe step away for like a month or maybe a couple of weeks, and you come back and you're completely lost. That's a development, or I don't know what the right term is for, but that's a flaw. That's a gap they got to fix. When people step away, like I stepped away from Division 2 for almost a whole year, came back to it, and it's like it picked up right where I left off from. You know what I'm saying? And some. And Destiny, I get that there's all these layered stories, but they got to figure out some way with the tower and the flower and the bower and all this other crazy stuff. They gotta like connect it and make it all make some type of sense in layman's terms. So even if I do step away, I can start from the beginning if I want to and never feel lost, because I may want to play all the content. So, that's just something they got. If they can fix that, then they can, make it a little bit more appealing to the masses.
Absolutely. Anyone else with initial reactions to Destiny 2 Beyond Light?
I purchased it.
Oh yes, that's right.
So, and I'll tell you why. I'm actually not a Destiny fan really that much anymore. Well, I wasn't. Let me rephrase. I played Destiny 1, put probably at least 250 hours into that game. Easy. Significant amount of time. Really, really invested into it. And the game got stale. The story, the direction. And then when they made this game, it basically picked up for me where it left off from the last one, with just stale story, stale progression. And the only reason I played it again was because it was on Stadia. It was free. They gave you all the stuff included with it. But I will say this. I have always been really impressed as of late with how transparent Bungie has been. And you saw it in this press conference. They were so apologetic to their focus about this game in particular. And they said, look, our focus may have been more towards the future of maybe another title. That's done. We're investing 3 more years into this game. We're going to give you compelling stories. We want to make sure that we listen to you. And I think the biggest thing that I heard from them is they realized that some of the experiences, they didn't outright say this, but they basically implied they don't make sense. And I think what they were trying to get at is the UI is not user friendly. If you're not used to Destiny, it's a mess. It really is a mess. And they need to find a way, like MM said, to make it better for when you walk away from this game for 3 weeks and you come back, you're not just left behind. You're rewarded. They get you up to speed. They say, look, you might have missed these 3 quests, but here's where you should be picking up. And you can come back to these 3 quests later and get you back on track with maybe what the average is for most of the player pool. Because I think that's the problem is people come back in and they go, holy crap, my friend is 3 missions ahead of me. And then it's like a daunting task. And then those friends don't want to jump back in with you because they're 5 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
So it's they got to find some kind of a balance with this, but I am impressed. I think they did a really good job. The next 3 expansions look really good. What is it? It's Beyond Light, Season of the Witch. Is that the next one? And then there's another one after that. I don't know what the third one is.
You know what, Chase? Just to piggyback off of that real quick, and I'm sorry if I interrupted anybody, but why not you got new stuff coming out every 4 to 6 weeks, right? Why not work with your internal teams and create a short video and have a tab that says back on track? So you got this is an online game. You have data to tell when someone last logged on the game and did what they did. So when you notice that someone's been off and they missed missions, have that back on track tab lighten up like blinking, right? And then they can press on that, and then you just have these already short videos curated showing them the different missions and the different things you can do in the game, so they can either go play it again themselves or just go beyond past that. Now they're caught up. Very simple, just very simple things that I think if they think about, they can get everybody in tune with it.
So one of the other things they announced for it was cross-generational play. So PS4 and PS5 users can play with each other, and Xbox One and Xbox Series X users can play with each other. They're working on actual cross-play for next year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Like Microsoft and Sony and maybe
cross-generational and cross-play. So they're using those 2 terms separately. One is just for all platforms, and then cross-gen is Xbox One and Xbox Series X, PlayStation, like you said, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5.
Yep.
Do you assume we're going to see that with Stadia included, or do you think they're going to be left out of the dark?
They gave a very general statement, and I think it was intentional. They don't want to play their cards just yet, which I understand. They're basically just saying, look, it's something we're working on. And I think the reason they didn't want to jump too far ahead beyond just saying, oh, well, the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation, those are the norms. Like, everyone's talking about those. Yep. I don't think they want to put their stamp in the ground in case for some reason there's some kind of an issue with a deal. Yep. Because they were very loose with this, and I think it's just because there might not be deals already done, like officially, like PC to console and vice versa. I think it's probably what it is.
Yeah. Here's a question that I have. With this, off the heels of the success of Division 2's crossplay between PC, like, why can't you just do crossplay with PC? Right now, flip that switch, and then when Xbox and PlayStation want to play ball, because I bet you that's what it is. When they want to play ball, then you rope them in too. You know what I'm saying? I think with Xbox, with Stadia, like sending reps out there and working to get this transferred over Vulcan, I'm still a little confused on why they haven't thrown the resources at them to help them get this on, crossplay between with PC. That would do wonders for the game. Wonders.
Oh, absolutely. Because I believe that's the largest community out there at the moment, right?
Yes. No. You know what? It fluctuates between PC and PlayStation.
Okay.
I think
it's close enough, though.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I think probably my biggest complaint about Destiny 2 on Stadia specifically is the community, in terms of the lack thereof. Sometimes we're still a small community, and when you kind of split that amongst 70 games or whatever games we have on the platform, it's kind of hard to always find someone playing Destiny. So joining a Crucible match can be a little difficult, but obviously with the excitement that came from this announcement the other day, a lot of people on my friends list have been playing this week. So, I mean, it's a good time to jump back into it. And And I think people like Link and Project are absolutely there to help out, kind of bring some of our newcomers into Destiny, into kind of give them the 411, if you will, the Destiny 2 1-on-1 class. So, Eddie, we're talking about crossplay with Destiny. Is this something that's going to happen for Stadia?
Yes.
You do think so?
Yes.
Do you think it'll be crossplay with everyone, just consoles, just PC?
Guys, correct me, no, but help me here with the information. Which is the biggest Destiny 2 player base right now?
We were just talking about that. We think it fluctuates between PC and PS4.
I'd say probably 90% of the time it's going to be PC.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think it's easier because all of the servers are, well, not the servers, but there's no need to sign anything else. So I believe it will come with PC first and maybe in the future with consoles. But the consoles things, it's not only the servers, but they have to sign the deal with the consoles as well.
Yeah. There you go.
Which, by the way, Power Rangers did an amazing job being the very first fighting game ever cross-platform with every single thing.
Absolutely. Which is still amazing that you'll still like come across the same couple people and you're like, wait a minute, there's 5 platforms here. Like the amount of times I just randomly play Link is ridiculous.
I was just gonna say you just don't want to have to keep playing Link over and over, Captain. Like, what are the chances? Crossplay with everybody. It's
And
just Link.
I started playing my Xbox. Hopefully, I didn't run into Link at some point. Which
my god,
I hadn't yet, but no. Anything else you guys want to share about Destiny 2?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. I mean, just for shits. I mean, craps and giggles.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
Dylan.
I know. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. Hangover from the podcast earlier today, man. The Destiny 2 population on Steam. Holy cow! You talk about drop off the cliff like Wile E. Coyote. Jeez Louise! This thing was at 290,000 in October of 2019, and as of last month, according to Statista, it's at 77,000. Holy crap. So that's why they're fluctuating back and forth. If this graph is right.
Which is nuts because, and here's the graph that he's talking about, which is nuts because of quarantine. Like, you think this number would start to come up right? Well, I mean, it kind of did right here. So it went from 93 to 117. But after that, people are like, oh, I remember Destiny 2. And then this. So,
that's why probably Bungie was so apologetic.
I think there's a couple things just to add to this real quick. One, the player population absolutely goes back to what we were talking about stale content. So that's part of it. But I think there's a bigger issue. And this is one that I've heard from a couple podcasts that do just Destiny related podcasts. I was listening to one last night, in fact. And one of the things that's a major issue over on PC is hacking and cheating. It's rampant. It's really bad. And especially there's a mode called Trials of Osiris, if you're familiar with that. And that mode in particular is like getting hacked like crazy. So a lot of those players have been playing where? On Stadia.
Interesting.
They've been playing on Stadia because of the fact that there is no hacking and there is no cheating, specifically on Trials of Osiris.
And you can play with this guy.
Yeah, so the player pool actually for Stadia might be taking some of those numbers away from Steam if they're Steam players, because the players are fluctuating back and forth. Like, they'll do their PvE content solely on PC, but when it comes to PvP, then they'll come over to Stadia to play. So that sounds like that's what they're actually doing right now.
I don't want to go into conspiracy theory here and kind of piggyback off of Chase and what he said. So if anyone remembers, April 8th is when Stadia opened up for free. And look when the most significant drop recently happened between April and May. Yep. So you think 25,000 people joined Stadia because of that? That'd be interesting.
I don't know that I would say it's that high.
I don't know if it's correlated, but...
Nate made a good point. I think it was Nate who said that in October is when the expansion came out. So it may have been extra high right then because everybody got the new expansion to play it. And then it dropped down as people finished it up and then went on to other things. And then there's a spike in March from the coronavirus lockdown. People were playing more. So But maybe, yeah, because you're just looking right at the end there. Yeah, maybe people wanted to switch to Stadia. And the thing about cheaters, Mixetti said the same thing. He's like, crossplay or no cheating, you choose.
Yep.
I think he said that. Or pick one. So yeah, and that's the thing I hear about a lot of games when people come to Stadia is that there's no cheaters, and they really like that. I hear that a lot in Red Dead. That people who play Red Dead on PC, they just can't, because people crash your session by spawning so many things that it crashes the game, right? Where on Stadia, we don't have that issue at all. So, yeah.
You want more conspiracy theory here? November 19th is when Stadia launched too. Look at that.
Ah, killed it. Killed it.
100,000 people dropped the Steam version with the Stadia. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, with the cross save, like it's tempting to switch platforms because you don't have to lose your progress. You can bring your people over, right? So
Well, and your gear. I mean, that's the reason I think that they were selling this in that podcast. They were like, look, I don't want to buy necessarily the expansions for certain pieces over on Stadia, but if I can just come over, do my Trials of Osiris run, get my gear, take it back over to my PC instance. That's why they're doing this. They're just choosing to use both. And then one guy is solely now, that was really against Stadia in the beginning, this specific podcast, he is solely on Stadia now. So I thought that was interesting.
Chris, he's got a couple ringers today. He said, but Chase, I thought PC players don't like rebuying games.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So Destiny 2 Beyond Light comes out September 22nd, I do believe. Morning to Adam of Stadia Rocks. He's in the chat. How are you doing, Adam? A lot of people,
Hey,
by
Adam.
the way.
Rock, hey.
Speaking of Destiny, the old dirty blasters. There we go.
The ODB. I want to welcome everyone to the stream. This is amazing turnout. We got a lot of people from the other side of the world, and it's about 2 a.m. there. So I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with us tonight. Moving on, unless you guys have anything else to drop about Destiny 2, I think it's time we talk about this week on Stadia. Patent pending, apparently, because apparently I'm surprised they haven't come after you guys. Like, hey, you know what we call our blog post, right?
It's because we started the podcast before the blog post.
Yeah, they took it from you guys.
So you could go after them. Okay. But you can't because you use the word Stadia. So this week on Stadia, do I have the blog post? Of course I do, because I'm prepared. Shockingly. Let me pull it up here. So after 12 days of complete silence, we finally got something from them. And it was a pretty big update. Let's just start with the really cool one, I think, here is that you get $10 off your next game purchase. Right off the bat, have any of you guys taken advantage of this yet?
I was going to do the expansion, but I've heard you can't do it for the expansion.
DLC is off limit, unfortunately.
Darn it.
Yes, which kind of is depressing. But yes, you can use it with pretty much everything else. So no one has used the coupon just yet?
I haven't used it. I'm thinking of maybe getting Sundered.
Okay.
But I haven't decided yet. I just, with Elder Scrolls coming out, I don't want to buy any other game, so I might just keep it safe until something happens that I can't live without.
Pro Dios. Wait to use on the Pro Dios.
Yeah. And then get like a $30 game for $10 or something like that.
I don't think sales were a part of the exclusion. So but the thing is, I believe it automatically applies to the next game you purchase. So, I mean, obviously someone can tell us if that's not true and you actually are able to pick and choose. And Chris says that I'm happy because I'll be getting a Just Dance discounted, which, yes, I still have to buy that. I'll probably be able to.
You're asking for that discount. There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that's kind of a cool deal. And not only is it for all pro members, it's for even former pro members. So if you have lapsed your subscription, you'll still be able to have this coupon, which is kind of a little cool deal that they're doing. I can't believe they're letting former members get it, which is, I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Exactly. They also remind us that 5 new free games in Stadia Pro are available in June, which I just got an email about yesterday. So I'm glad I finally know about that on June 11th and June 12th. Moving on, they did mention that the 1 month of Stadia Pro free trial has begun. So it's back down from 2 months, which we knew was coming, but there's also kind of like delay from it starting, I think. And now they have official support for more mobile devices on the OnePlus series. So the OnePlus series dating back to the OnePlus 5 is now available to use. And then you can pretty much play Stadia on any Android device. And this opened up a very interesting tab in the settings, which is called Experiments, which looks like a beta testing area. Did you guys see that, right?
Right.
So this looks like an area that you can test features that are coming to Stadia at some point, but they maybe not necessarily be ready. So if you want to play like Stadia on an Amazon Fire tablet, which is not officially supported, you have that ability to do so. But do you guys see any kind of specific betas they might just throw into there for people to test out some features before they officially say it's available?
Don't know.
No.
Tough question.
I don't know.
It is a tough question.
I hadn't thought of that.
So I asked you guys
I don't think
instead
so.
of me.
I asked you guys.
No, it is because of what kind of features I can't imagine right now. Oh no, okay, I got one. Party chat on mobile. So probably when they are ready to roll out at least one version, if you are subscribed to that experiments, maybe you can get that first.
It's a good shout. Yeah, I'm having trouble thinking what kind of features might be. I think the next thing in this little blog post would have been one of those, and that is touch controls. So touch controls are officially here.
Yeah.
I have not personally tested this out. I tested out the fan made one a while back, but Meg, you mentioned you played, was it Destiny with this?
Yeah, I played Destiny with it. I took some screenshots. If I was more prepared, I could have gotten them ready to share with you guys. But anyways, there's a screenshot there. That's exactly what it looks like. Yes. I think they should have put this as experimental, maybe. But it's interesting because when you now load up a game on mobile, it gives you the option to try touch controls or connect a controller. So I said, okay, I'll try it out. And at first it was the worst thing ever because okay, no offense, but like an elderly person, because if you've ever tried to teach an old person how to use technology, like when watching them tap the screen on like a monitor and you're like, that's a monitor, like that's not an iPad, it's like painful. So I was like that. I was like tapping on what I wanted, but you have to, right? But you have to guide a little cursor around. So, and Destiny is like that anyways. You can't even use the D-pad to select stuff in Destiny. You have to guide this little cursor. So it was really hard to get the hang of at first. And also I'm an inverted player on controller, but I'm not inverted on the touch screen. So I had to switch that setting around, and then I had to turn the sensitivity all the way down. I had it on like 15. I had to bring it down to like 5 because it's just such a different interface.
So you can do all of these customizations?
Well, that's
in the game.
In the touch. All right. Okay,
yes, in the game. Understand. So there is no way to customize the touch screen. It's like trying to touch. You have to do it all within the game. And then I managed my menus. I upgraded my gear in Destiny. It was fine for that. Very finicky though, but that's the way Destiny is. Like you use the controller to move a cursor around. Like other games, you can use the D-pad to select things. So this was probably the worst game for me to try it on, but it made me learn fast. And then I said, okay, guys, so Link and Nice Fluffy, we jumped in a fire team and we went to do a mission. And I was like, oh God, like here we go. And like I did shoot probably 2 enemies in the full like 20 minutes that we played, or half hour.
Please tell me that you have that on stream.
No, it was on my phone. It was on my phone. I can't record it. Like I don't have any recording software on my phone. So if it was on the iPad, I could have recorded it. So I managed to keep up with them. I jumped on the little jumping platforms. I shot my weapon a few times to make it look like I was participating. And then, Link was carrying us, of course. So it was over. But could I be a contributing, productive member of the fire team? No, not at all. So in my opinion, at least in Destiny, I'm going to try it in Red Dead as well, just to see. But in my opinion, it's great for managing your inventory, doing whatever. But if you want to actually like shoot something, like you should probably go get your controller, I would say. That's my take.
Yeah.
I gave it a shot. I'll say this 2 parts, if that's okay, real quick. first part is that experimental tab is fantastic. I love the whole idea. They could flesh it out. I'll get into that in part 2, but at least in regards to the the experimental trial of the app on any device, I loaded. Look, I side loaded it on my Fire TV tablet or Fire tablet 8, and it was okay. It was playable, but it wasn't the best. But with this, now it's like it was flawless. It was fantastic. The only thing is that I was using the touch controls, and I don't have like a 7-foot index finger, so it was hard for me to try to like use the L1 and L2 because those were all the way at the top of the screen and stuff. So it was funny, but no, it was very responsive. And the Fire 8 for this type of activity isn't the best tablet, so that's great. Part 2 is I want to see this fleshed out a little bit more. I think there's more they can do with this, and this is where we get into the hey Google, why aren't you doing this already a little bit without trying to beat up on them too hard. Oh, my Google Assistant open. All right, so
we've all had that happen today.
Exactly. My question is, for those that play on Xbox, y'all know what this is. The Xbox has the program where you can there's different tiers. You're a beta tester or an alpha tester and all that other stuff. And there's different
first rings and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, the different rings. And here's the thing. Look, we got to be honest. I always say this. The vast majority of the early adopters are tech enthusiasts. Not all, but most of us are tech enthusiasts. We would love more to A, try this stuff out, and B, even if we can't get in on it, know that our colleagues are trying it out because that lets us know that it's coming. So I really think that it's important for, at least as far as the tech is concerned, even if you don't have the games, as far as the tech is concerned, some of these easier things, Google needs to get out there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I agree. And I also just think that, as well as they can roll out something that maybe isn't working 100%, but they, like you say, they want us to know it's coming. And then if anyone's like, oh, it's not working, it's like, okay, well, it's in the experimental section. So they don't have to support it necessarily, but we could still test it out, I saw that they were expanding it to other phones. I think that's coming up next. And I was like, oh my God, my iPad. But that was sadly not the case. I really, really, really want to be gaming Stadia on my iPad, guys. It's the perfect screen. I'm just can't wait for them to roll out to be more accessible to everybody. A lot of people have iPhones and iPad. It's a huge market that I want them to take advantage of.
Hey, can I ask a question just to throw this in here? Completely unrelated, but a couple people got the Razer. It's the Kishi, right? The what do you think of that so far? By the way,
spoiler alert: you'll find out on Tuesday.
Okay, never mind.
Oh,
did anyone else pick that up? No. If no one knows what Chase is talking about, it's pretty much. Did they bring it in here? No. So it pretty much goes around your phone and it pretty much makes it the Switch. It has
what? Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Can I throw something out there? Or maybe we could talk about this during the after show, but just to precursor it. Wouldn't it be indicative of Google to create a case for the Pixel that works what is it, the Kishi?
Yep.
They have retractor. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Tech stuff. Come on, Google. You ain't got the games, but some of the stuff.
That would be so cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
but they will need to promote that it works for sure with other phones than the Pixel, because I understand, but it's not just like they did with. I don't remember the name of the Dreamview. Was that right? The name Daydream.
Yep.
The name of their VR. Yep. And it was supported by other phones, but they will need to do something like that, I think.
Yeah.
And you can see the headlines already. Google releases a controller that only fits on the Google phone, as if anybody's going to use it for Stadia, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, God.
Or they probably crunched the numbers to Eddie and Jamani's point and said, there's not enough Pixel owners that are playing on Stadia right now. So it's not
possible.
Yeah. Down the line, this stuff will definitely come.
That's why you got things like people like Razer kind of doing it for them.
Yeah.
But Richie from Sounds of Stadia, who is still up, he took me and Chase's idea here, or at least our thoughts, that touchscreen is good for the turn-based style.
Oh yeah,
I
didn't even think about that.
Yes, I cannot play like a Destiny, Mortal Kombat, NBA.
I want to add a couple of stuff on that,
screen.
Brian.
Good, Eddie.
So first, I tried the touch a couple hours ago on Trials Rising. I failed miserably.
Yeah.
But I agreed that, and we even said that while we were doing a party stream the other day with Chase playing Monopoly. We said that's the kind of game that is perfect for the touch screens.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's a little bit confusing for us, but mobile gaming it's huge.
Yeah,
And if we go to YouTube, one of the most played games of people watching live streams, it's PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, PUBG.
And I stopped the other day to watch one of those streams. It's the guy doing this
on his phone. Yeah, it's for the kids, man.
And he's crazy, like all of the buttons, and he's killing people. He's controlling on touch screens, and I was, how can he do that so fast? So people get used to it, and of course, it was maybe a 16, 17-year-old, but that's crazy.
Yeah. I will say something though. PUBG Mobile and Fortnite Mobile, their touch screen is like touch screen interface. It's not the same as this. Stadia has got like buttons overlaid that mimic the controller. But games like PUBG and Fortnite, if you're playing the mobile version of the game, where you aim, your like thumb is like where it's aiming. It's not like that with this touch overlay, which makes it really, really difficult. So there's a big difference there between playing a controller game on your phone versus playing the mobile version of that game. Maybe I'm just telling myself to make that myself feel better, but I do think that is the case. I really do think that is the case. Because I've played Fortnite Mobile before, and you can shoot, you can kill, like I killed people, and I was like, oh my God. But it's different. It's a little bit different. So Nate said like for crafting, or like you guys said, turn-based games, like that could maybe like think of like Baldur's Gate. Like that's turn-based. You don't need fast reflexes. You don't need to be able to aim in games like Baldur's Gate. So that could maybe convert really well to this touch mobile interface.
That is true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Chase?
Oh, no, I had something to share. It's like literally like 10 seconds. This was actually in the Google store for the longest time. So they actually, to MM's point, Game Vice was a supported attachment that you could get for a Pixel device. And then once Stadia kind of moved into the space, they kind of slowly moved this out of the store. And it makes me believe that they might actually have a partnership going on with Razer. Because if you remember during the Google events when they were first demoing Stadia, they were using a lot of Razer gear, like the Razer headsets, Razer keyboards and stuff. So I think there's a potential partnership coming up with them.
And look at this. Chris says that Game Vice is also the maker of the Razer Kishi.
There you go. That's their thing.
Which is Japanese for night, which I found out.
Yeah. So. Good shout.
So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the two sticks on the very top because I don't know, that seems kind of cumbersome. But
yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
The way the Switch has it set up and the way the Kishi has it set up, I think I prefer that, at least with the mobile way of it. On an actual controller, I do think I kind of like the way Stadia does it and PlayStation does it with the side-by-side sticks.
And Brian, if you get the screenshot again from the Guild that it was just showing the touch control, if you realize the D-pad, it's inverted as well.
On what?
On the screenshot from the Stadia controller inside what we were just talking about.
Oh, the blog post?
Yep. If you see, it's weird because it is inverted. At least it was when I was playing.
The actual
trials.
The input was inverted?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, how do you invert the D-pad? I'm like, it's symmetrical.
It is off axis, as you guys were saying.
Oh, what game were you playing?
Oh, I got what you're saying. Hold on. All right, so let me pull it up.
Yeah.
You're just talking about the way it looks on screen, right?
Exactly.
So you got the D-pad down here.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was
I mean, that's kind of like how you naturally hold your phone, I'd imagine.
Right. Yeah, it's probably because the way you hold the phone.
Yeah, that's how I think what they did is they just tried to pattern it off of most touchscreen support, because that's exactly how it is. Like when you play Call of Duty Mobile, the layout is exactly the same as what you see right here. It's literally like copy and paste.
Mm-hmm. And I think Chris mentioned if you hold down like one of the R2 something to do with the triggers here, where it kind of like doubles as aiming down the sights and moving. So here it is for touchscreen controls. In case people didn't know, if you hold L2 or R2 triggers, it acts like you're holding the trigger and moving the analog stick. So, Megan, do you have like experience with that method or what he's talking about?
No, I was literally shooting from the hip.
Okay. Because you gotta like do like this, like
I was just playing with my thumbs. Actually.
Oh, I get it. Okay, that's
so
awesome.
So Stadia
I mean, I did okay, but I mean, I'd have to practice.
Yeah, Stadia stands saying you don't have to touch the right stick at all.
All right.
So that's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
So with that method,
Well, I see. Yeah, because you're basically aiming while you're holding down R1. I see. Yeah.
Brian, if you allow me to plug the next topic here, because I have something to share that I just discovered right now. So it is regarding the resolution. I'm just going to say what I have here, and then you can talk. But I have two monitors, two 1080 and one big monitor, which is 4K.
Okay.
The 4K one, if I go to performance, right now I can change it to 1080 or 720. But if I've dragged my Stadia screen over to the 1080 monitor, it refreshes the Stadia, and it doesn't allow me to force 4K because my monitor is 1080.
Yeah. And it didn't used to do that. Yep. It didn't used to notice that. You know.
That is very interesting that if you don't have a 4K monitor, indeed you cannot play 4K.
It knows.
Yeah, I ran into the same issue with HDR support. So I found out my TV doesn't have HDR10 when I thought it did. And all this time I had HDR on thinking that the image looked better with the 720p versus the 1080. And in reality, I've never had HDR on based off of the way that this is reading. So, God, I don't even know what I'm missing without the HDR. Like, that's crazy. And it looks just as good as 1080. Like, I'm not lying to you. 720 and the 1080 if it's just the base version of this thing, it looks just as clean.
Yeah, brother, I'll tell you this. Be ready for when you see Division 2 on Stadia at 4K, man. 4K HDR. Be ready.
It looks good.
Pad your trousers.
All right. So, a little event happened this week. Unless you guys have any last words about the blog post, we finally got information from Google. You know, it's been a while. So, were you guys satisfied with what they gave us, or do you think they're still not off the hook?
Still not off the hook.
I'm
Meg is so forgiving.
I am. I'm so forgiving. Okay, well, Chase, you go first.
No, they're still not off the hook. I'll just say it simply. They didn't address the cyberpunk situation. They addressed the media about gods and monsters. They didn't address us, and they didn't tell us about the system being down for 30 minutes. So they're not off the hook.
Yeah.
Was it the very first downtime?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Ooh, it was self-imposed, but you know how people are going to work that once they find that out. Can you believe it? Stadia's just a mess. Oh my God! Pull the plug. Down for 17 minutes.
All right. So we just hit the 90-minute mark, so we're going to kind of rapid fire some of the next few topics before going to the after show. Because for the main podcast portion, we don't want to go too long because we know people do have things to do. But we're going to talk about our very favorite pro game from the month of June, even though we still have one more coming out on Tuesday. So let's just kind of rapid fire. If you have a quick comment about it, you can definitely put that with it. So, Germani, what was your favorite pro game so far for Stadia?
Power Rangers, for sure.
Attaboy. You don't even need to add a comment. I know why.
Yeah.
MM2K, what's been your favorite pro game so far?
PUBG.
Oh, let me back up. June. I'm sorry.
Oh, of June. No, you did say of
Come
June.
on, bro.
You know me. I'm
like,
what did I say? Destiny.
Wait a minute.
I said Destiny. God and monsters. No, Little Nightmares.
Right.
Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares is good too.
Yeah, Little Nightmares. That's some creepy stuff.
So,
Yeah.
had you had a previous experience from another console with that game, or is this your first experience?
Yeah, because I haven't really played it on Stadia yet. But yeah, that was as soon as I saw that out there, I just grabbed that. Yeah, that's gonna be some good stuff.
Yeah.
Eddie.
I'm between Power Rangers, but I'm gonna say Power Rangers.
All right. What were you gonna say?
I'm not sure because I haven't tried too much of Panzer Dragoon, but I finished it super hot.
There you go.
Wow.
So
How long is that game?
I
5 hours, right?
I played for about 3 hours and then it finishes. All right, end of story.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, there is a story. I'm not going to spoil Chase here, but there is a story.
Oh, let me tell you.
But once you finish it has more end content as well.
Okay.
So I don't know if you realize if you press the X button, it says not ready, not yet. Don't try. It gives that kind of message on the screen, and after you go to the end content, the X button starts working with something else. So I finish it. I tried a little bit of the extra content, and then I moved on to Power Rangers. So I'm gonna say Power Rangers just because it surprised me as how much of a good fighting game it is.
How about you, Meg?
I say Little Nightmares. I agree with MM. But just full disclosure, I have not yet actually played Superhot or Panzer Dragoon, which I do plan to. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I have seen a little bit of the gameplay, and I think Little Nightmares, amazingly, even though it's scary, is just really well done. It creeped me out way more than Guilt, which is the extent of the scary games I've played. So comparatively, the way that things are and the things that happen and the sound and the creepiness. Oh my God, Little Nightmares. It's a really good game.
Germani's stream earlier, man, was like Paranormal Activity. He had the lights out. I was like, bro, what's going on over there, bro?
Creepiness. I don't want any spoilers, so I haven't seen too many other people play it, but oh man.
Yeah,
it's creepy.
I remember listening to one of your streams earlier when I was, I hit you up while you were streaming. All I could hear, I was working on my stuff. I could hear this, drink and stuff, and all I heard screams. I was like, this is so weird. Oh,
somebody messaged me. They were like, I can't handle the screaming when you play that game. I was like, have you seen that game? Like, it's scary, but it's a good one. It's a good one.
It's good.
Perfect. And I know some people may expect me to say Panzer Dragoon, but
no way.
I did not expect you to say Panzer Dragoon, buddy.
You're a liar.
I do.
I know you aiming that at me. Yeah,
Jamai still hasn't given you back your Sega card, bro.
Yeah.
I don't need it from him. Whatever, it's cool. Power Rangers, as MM just kind of said, PUBG was like Power Rangers might be one of my, if not favorite pro game we've gotten so far, because it's a fighting game that I think anyone can enjoy because it's very easy to button mash and actually have fun with it. A lot of games you can't really do that too much with. Like you jump in like a more serious one like Mortal Kombat, like you might know how to uppercut and literally just punch and kick and that's it. But like with Power Rangers, you might accidentally walk into a combo, which is really cool. Even though I'm about 0-45 against Link, I still enjoyed my time playing the game. And if you're looking for a challenge, Link is pretty good. So, but
we are 1-1, right, Brian?
Yes. Unfortunately, I also lost to Eddie too. I guess I have to.
Oh
put
my
that
God!
I haven't faced anyone else in this lovely panel just yet. I know Germani was playing it the other day, so I probably need to settle a score with him because he's taking my Sega card away. So
yeah, let's do it. I beat the story and the arcade mode. Those are really fun. They were actually really fun.
I haven't actually jumped into that. So is there any voice acting to that?
Yeah, there's yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
All right. So a quick thing people might have missed is that State Share is coming. As I said, we're kind of doing a little rapid fire with the topics here now. State Share is coming via Creta, which is scheduled to launch into Stadia Pro this summer, which could be up until September, folks. So whether it comes next week, July, August, or the very beginning of September, State Share is a feature that people have been anticipating for Google Stadia, which allows pretty much a content creator or anyone really to just like send a link, and someone can click on it, and they will pretty much be exactly where that other user is in the game and kind of pick up where they left off. Now, Eddie, I know you've been doing a lot of creative stuff. Is there anything specifically you would like to touch on this regarding state share and coming to Creta that you're aware of?
No, I think you touched it very good. I just want to plug that. Once Creta launches, we're going to do a 48-hour stream.
Yes, I forgot to mention
building a game on Creta. So stay tuned for more information.
And has he made that public yet?
Stay tuned for more information. I'm not sure if I'm giving any spoilers.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember if he's made that public yet. So someone in the community is planning a big event revolving around Creta. So we will talk about that when that time comes. So do you guys have anything to say about state share coming to Creta? It is coming in beta, so that's something to keep in mind. It's not technically officially launching just yet. It's just going to be a part of Creta, and I think they're going to kind of catapult it from there. So anything else about state share? In case people missed it over the last week or so. It's been a quiet week, so I'm sure everyone knew about it.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I'm going to save one of these topics for the after show because I think it might be a longer topic worth discussing. Coming up on Stadia, we found out this week that Windbound is a game coming for Stadia. I'll be honest, I have no clue what this game's about because I have only heard about the title from Duncan. So does anyone want to share with the class what Windbound might be about and when we could expect it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So August 28th, it's coming to Stadia, and it is a open world RPG, very much in the vein of Breath of the Wild. And it's a game that a lot of people have been looking forward to. So it's an indie game. I was hoping it would come to Stadia because, again, I like these open world RPGs, and we're getting it. So it looks like, as of now, because they haven't said differently, but as of now, at the end of the splash page when they announced the game yesterday, the day before, it was August 28th, and Stadia's watermark was there. So it's implying that it's coming to the platform day and date.
Let me share this trailer. This is the first time I've watched it too. So yeah, they got the cel-shaded look that you see in Breath of the Wild.
I haven't heard about this game or seen about. Oh my gosh, I like it already.
You travel from it's a survival game too. You travel from island to island.
Is it multiplayer or single player?
Looks like single player.
Single.
I would love to go here with you guys.
That literally looks like the water from Twilight Princess. That's nuts.
And,
it's like
Wind Waker.
Away.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
She built that boat. Oh my god.
So who said it earlier that, it might have been you, Germani, that we might be seeing a lot more games like really start to rip off of Breath of the Wild, and this is
yeah. I don't let me say rip off. I mean, that's
they even got the kite too, or the.
Oh, look at that little animation. That's very Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah, this is definitely. I mean, Breath of the Wild and Wind Waker, two great.
Yeah,
So this looks really appealing to me. Everything.
I'm getting serious Wind Waker vibes at this part.
Yeah, yeah, the traversal, and then they had like even the it was like a shell, but it looks like the was that the Sheikah slate, and then the beacon and all. I was like, that's so, and even this right here, this
look at that, yeah,
desert and stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's what we're gonna see. I mean, I think open world games are gonna be much more exciting after that. After that game coming out because it was crazy. This looks good. This is a good game to have on the platform for sure.
I'm so excited.
And this comes from
coming in August.
Yeah,
I'm really excited
Deep
about
Silver.
It. Yeah, I was shocked.
Too many games.
No such thing. Stop.
By the way, Deep Silver is a big publisher. If you guys don't remember.
They had. Was it Dead Rising?
Metro Exodus.
That's
Metro
it. That's what it was. Because we just talked about them 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And here's your watermark.
Not Dead Rising, Dead Island. That's that.
There it is.
Boom.
That Chorus, which we saw on the Xbox review, it's also from Deep Silver.
Mm-hmm.
Man Eater, a huge success on PC right now. Saints Row, it's all from Deep Silver.
I would pre-order this if it pre-orders comes to Stadia. I would pre-order it.
Well, it should. August 28th. So we actually have a launch date for this. So we don't have too much longer to wait for this game, that's awesome.
That's all summer. That's so long.
I know, but it's only 2 months. It's 8 weeks.
It's gonna fly by. Summer always goes by so fast.
Exactly. I mean, maybe not this year because we're locked up.
That's true. Yeah, we're locked down.
Locked up. Okay, so
locked up.
Baldur's Gate 3's got something going on tomorrow. Chase, how about you enlighten the crowd on what that it's all about?
I'm gonna do a live reaction tomorrow to that at 12 o'clock. They put out Sven put out a teaser video. I think it was today, where he basically said, "I have big," and he doesn't normally say this unless he means it. He has big news to share tomorrow. We're getting the early access date tomorrow, y'all. It's gonna drop. They're gonna tell us when it's happening, and I'm telling y'all, I'm predicting it. It will be free on Stadia for early access. I'm calling it right now.
So they're announcing the date tomorrow is your prediction?
And they're telling us it will be free on Stadia.
Okay.
For early access, not the whole game.
Well, obviously. So do you think they'll drop that, hey, you have to be a Stadia Pro member? So free for Stadia Pro members? Okay.
Yep. And then if you're a non-Stadia Pro member, maybe they'll let you pay for it, or maybe they'll say, no, you have to get Pro. I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything else. I mean, it's right there. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Perfect.
That'd be beautiful.
So are we all of the belief that we're getting early access information tomorrow?
If Chase believes it, I believe it.
The forums that I follow that are a lot more in the know on this than I am. I mean, again, I'm just a fan of the franchise.
Yeah.
They're all saying that the word is that we're supposed to be getting that information tomorrow. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. I'm going with that because I trust some of these folks. But again,
fair.
You always have to take things with a grain of salt. So it could be wrong.
So my next question, I guess, would be, when will we see it? If that is the prediction or that's the announcement.
Yeah, I don't think it's tomorrow. I think it's July.
Okay.
They've been ramping up for a while, and I've always had that belief that we would get it by July.
Maybe coinciding with a Connect?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't have any more faith that we're getting a Connect now. I have mixed emotions about that.
So you really think we're not getting any kind of Connect this summer?
Not until, my belief is not till late August, September now. There's some reasons for that, but I won't share those now.
Okay. Fair enough. Who's barking?
My dog.
It's Moby.
Moby, calm down.
That's Moby. It's late. I don't know why he's
Moby.
barking this late.
It's Moby Tron X.
Moby Tron.
Oh, I think he's going to come say hi. Come here.
Hey, Toby.
Where's good boy?
Moby, come get a treat. Sorry, guys. Carry on.
It's not even meant that I'm calling him Toby.
Oh, I didn't hear that you used to call him Toby.
He said
Here
Toby. He
is.
legit said Toby.
There he
Hey,
is.
doggy.
Good boy.
Hey, Moby. Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, he's a precious baby angel.
I shut the door so my dogs can't get in. So
I don't have a door, just a curtain, so I have no control.
That's fair. All right. So and then I believe we also got the Relicta date announced for August 4th, which is still kind of a game you can't get too much information on the internet about. And I believe that's coming to all platforms, including the Switch. Does anyone remember? So it's literally everything. Okay. All right. So anyone excited about Relicta or know enough about Relicta to... We'll wait until the time comes. Talk more about that. So if you've been looking forward to Relicta, August 4th is when you can pick it up on Google Stadia. And then I believe we have one last thing to kind of go over, and that's a big event that happened earlier this week. The same day that Gods and Monsters accidentally leaked into the Stadia store, there was PlayStation 5's coming out party. And immediately off the bat, I mean, I know we're a Stadia podcast, but is anyone going to straight up admit right now that the PS5 is on the pre-order list for them?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely on the pre-order list for me.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Chase is shaking his head no. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He said nay.
Yep, I'm with Chase. I know.
Brian, are you getting the mini fridge or the router?
Kai put a hit on you yet, Chase? Because I know he put one on.
No,
activity on Twitter.
No, me and him actually have the same mindset. I was on hype the day of. I was actually over in Jamani's stream, and I liked what I saw, but there's not enough content there for me to go and buy it day one. Like I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Like if they had SOCOM on there, and I know that's an older IP, but there's got to be reasons for me to say I have to have this thing, and there just wasn't enough. The only game when I went back and rewatched it, because again I was in the moment, I had energy, I was excited. When I went back and watched it, there was only one game that moved the needle, and that was Ratchet and Clank, and that's basically it.
That was awesome.
That's basically it. So,
and to say to move the needle, I echo that. It's not that the games didn't look good, but we're talking about being asked to pay another $500-$600 possibly, for a new system, I want to know why I can't play it on my current system. You know what I mean? And it didn't scream that the stuff that I saw didn't in totality scream next gen to me, except for Ratchet and Clank. So I'm not saying it's not a buy or a pre-order, but I have to see more. And it's not too late. They're gonna show more, but I got to see more to, again, why do I need to buy a new box to play those games? It looks like that I can play those games on my current stuff and still get the same enjoyment. So they got to show that to me.
There you go. So Antonio brought this to my attention that the PS5 pre-orders are live, and I did some digging.
Got something out for you. Hold on.
It's live on Play Asia, which is a website you can purchase games on. I bought a Switch game or two from them because they have like exclusive stuff. But PS5 currently is listed to pre-order at $700 US. That would be, I believe, the most expensive price for a console ever.
I tried to warn y'all that this thing would not go below $500 because it's just not possible. Their shareholders would not let them do it, and that's why they didn't want to give that. What they wanted to do is they wanted people to be so enamored by the games that you had to say, "I gotta have it," and then that way, when they drop the price on you, you're like, "Oh, well, I'll still pay that price." That's what they tried to do.
Edition. Now, is this didn't Play Asia directly imported from Asia or Japan?
That's a good question. So I mean, they may have some kind of markup involved with that,
right?
Too. But this one might be that MM sharing here. Now let me double check this on Target's website.
Let me be totally honest. Yeah, check that out, Brian.
What's that price?
This is $399.
$400.
So let me go ahead here and being someone who's selling
digital edition. Yeah, sounds.
Being someone who's selling stuff online, you can go ahead, create a marketplace account on Amazon, on Target, on all websites,
exactly,
and you just post your whatever you want there.
Exactly,
people will believe it.
So
this does not mean it's an official being sold by Target. It's a marketplace.
No, definitely not.
So
how legit is that? So let me back up then.
Play Asia is more legit than this marketplaces.
That's what I wanted to ask.
So this is what you get on Target's actual website, is just kind of like a little splash page. Now, if it's actually truly available for pre-order, I'm going to double check one more source here because this would be the only one that would actually probably know. It is okay. So I was checking Wario 64 and he only has the Play Asia one up there. So I'm assuming that Target one is either a Photoshop or like I think Chase was just mentioning that someone might have just done like a marketplace thing. Which
no, that wasn't me. That's I think it was Eddie.
Oh, that was Eddie. Okay,
it's just because it happened. People are saying Amazon leaked the price on Europe, and that's exactly what happened. Anybody can go on Amazon, create a listing, and putting whatever you want there.
Right.
And of course, Amazon algorithms will delete it, but before it gets deleted, you will have a chance to take a screenshot.
Exactly.
What was the $700 one? Was that the digital or with the disc?
I'm gonna hopefully assume,
because I would imagine that one would be the disc, right? Because the disc is expensive with the ultra Blu-ray.
It doesn't say.
One thing I can tell you guys, it's just because of COVID-19 and all of the situations we're having with this pandemic, there will be a limited number of consoles.
Yep. Absolutely.
And once you buy a limited number of consoles, you probably will be able to sell for a higher price. Mm-hmm. So maybe people are putting the $699 price because they were going to make sure they will buy it for whatever price there is, and then they will sell it for $699.
Yep.
So I don't know, Brian, if you want to have the discussion on the PlayStation 5 right now or on the after show, but I have a little bit different opinion on Chase on pricing.
So the point that I was trying to really get to within the actual podcast, the after show, we'll talk about the. Oh, okay. Antonio said you can see the disc slot in the pick. Okay. As I look here. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so that looks like it wouldn't be the digital edition. So we'll save most of the actual PS5 talk for the after show. But what I kind of wanted to talk about is we got a lot of third-party mentions in the event. So this include Resident Evil 8, Hitman 3, NBA 2K21. A lot of these games have been confirmed, whether it's been from representatives from Xbox or just the developers and publishers themselves that have said that these games are coming to PC, Switch, Steam, Xbox, stuff like that. But there hasn't been any mention of Stadia. So We have no confirmation of Resident Evil 8, Hitman 3, Pragmata, which is a Capcom game as well, I believe. 2K21, which I'm assuming will join 2K20 in the store at some point. Should we be worrying just yet, or do you think that Stadia is going to be partnering with these companies to make that announcement separately? That's kind of what we're going to be talking about regarding the PS5 stuff here in the podcast portion.
I don't know that I would say worry to the 10th degree, but I can't fault people for being concerned. I mean,
sure.
These games that are in rotation are not games that were prior to when Stadia came into the marketplace. They were just coming into what I would call not necessarily the wrap up, but where they started them moving into the development phase in 2019. So that should have been enough time for Stadia to have these conversations.
Sure.
I think MM had a good theory that the only other plausible reason that you don't see anything on these announcements is that maybe Stadia's told the publishers, don't say anything because we want to announce it, but then that defeats one of their talking points that they've had, which is we only let the publishers speak, which doesn't make any sense. So I don't know what to believe anymore on some of this stuff.
Absolutely.
Example, Windbound.
Case in point. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard getting people to justify buying a $700 console, which the digital one, I'm guessing lands in the $400, $500 range. That might be more appetizing to people. You might see something like that take off. Because if you're asking people to spend $700 on a console, I'm just assuming that ends up being the price. You're not going to get many families buying that for their kids. Are like, dude, no, that's a mortgage payment. We're not touching.
I think that number's $100 higher. I think it's 500 and 600. By the way, that's my guess.
That's fair. So yeah, I mean, I'm not worrying too much about the third-party titles myself. I know Duncan has been very vocal that this is a problem. I get it. Chase just kind of alluded to it, that there are people out there that are rightfully worried because we've had a lack of third-party support to this point. Once these games officially come out eventually, then we can worry a little bit more, especially in the first year. We're still kind of in the development cycle that people may have not had Stadia right away. So the development kits may not have been there for them right away. So they may be late on the development as it is. So I'm not freaking out just yet. Eddie, are you freaking out about third-party support?
Some part of this, yes. Earlier today, I was having a discussion with Fluffy, Link, and Stefan. Capcom. We saw the big review of Resident Evil 8, which that was unexpected when they revealed the 8. But if we look at right at the very first presentation with Phil Spencer, Phil Harrison, that had a bunch of logos. Capcom logo was there.
Yep.
And we haven't seen a single title from Capcom yet. Still, we had been released Resident Evil 3, and some other games from Capcom are coming, and we haven't seen anything about Capcom right now. So I would be kind of worried at this point with the Capcom relationship. Of course, just because this one was already announced, not to get again on the discussion with Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I just remember something that I don't know if it's on the show notes or not about the Warner Bros.
Yeah, that'll be an after show.
All right.
Discussion.
We'll talk about it later.
Perfect.
I want to add to what Eddie said, but I'm going to do it in the after show. I just want to say this, though. I don't, and again, this is not, I say this because it's how these different businesses work in different regions. I don't think Japanese development is sold. Not only is not sold so much on Stadia, but I don't think that their operators Mirandi is to support Stadia up front. There's other cloud services. There's other operators Mirandi that are more closer to the region. I'll talk about that in the after show. And hint Tencent, to where I think that, they signed on, but they're walking a very tightrope as far as their support. So I think that explains why. So don't expect, so pretty much don't expect too much out of Capcom too soon.
Fair enough. I'd ask Meg, but she's not here. She stepped out real quick. So yeah,
Jamani.
How about you, Jermaine?
I'm sorry. I said again, I was getting caught up in a conversation in the chat here. What was it?
Germani was talking about if he would. So your limit is $500 on the PS5.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's not
I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm excited. I haven't. See, the thing is, you guys have been a part of the PS4 generation. I just got a PS4 because I have to play Last of Us 2. But I will trade this thing in, sell it back or whatever, and then move all these games over to PS5. So for me, it's not an issue because I have a library of games that I could play and enjoy while you guys are waiting for newer games. You've already played these games, you know. But I mean, $500 is. I mean, that's it for me, bro. You talking about $7,000, $8,000, $9,000? Get my ass. I got.
I'm gonna tell you.
Good. I ain't that much of that, man.
You will get the PS4 for $450, the digital only.
Well, that's what I'm getting. I want the digital only version anyway. I mean, what's the point of? I mean, literally at this point, what is the point of paying for the disc drive? I'm not watching Blu-ray, so the game is gonna have to be installed. What's the point of having the drive? For me, you know.
What if it's weaker, Jamani? What if it's weaker?
It's not going to be weaker. That'd be silly.
Well, see that's the whole thing here.
Some people believe that. They're like, "Oh, that's the most powerful version." I'm like, okay.
Here's the reason. Okay, I'm gonna wait to the after show.
This after show is going to be lit, y'all. Y'all got to stay down.
Brian.
Germani, you don't get it. I want to actually own my games, okay, man? Like,
own
my games.
I mean, I gotta hold it and cradle it. I gotta speed it if need be.
I have the license in my hand. Do you know what that means for me?
While I'm still lactating, Jamani, come on.
Hey, did we say what our favorite pro games were?
Yes.
I didn't realize
I did. Yeah.
Did I say mine?
No,
you didn't. We left you.
Oh, good job, Cap. left start. Broken arms, broken legs, down the bottom.
Germani, is that a good game?
It had potential. The core, no pun intended. The core game is good. Yeah, but it got abandoned. Like they just.
Well, there's a loop in there, right, where you can't finish the game, right? Isn't there something?
Well, now it's fixed.
Oh, they patched it. Okay.
After like a year and a half.
We're talking about Recore if you're listening to us. Because Jeremiah is holding up I believe that's the PC copy you're holding?
Yes, this is the PC copy.
Yep. Because I have that on Game Pass, but I haven't opened it up yet. So
yeah.
Super hot, by the way.
There you go. I forgot you weren't even in that conversation. You just stepped out, didn't you?
Yes.
Wait, you did talk about Super Hot, didn't you?
Yeah,
was that earlier today?
I mentioned it, but I didn't say it was my favorite pro game. But it is.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And Power Rangers is right there. It's like really like it's like a toss up for me. Those two were just so good. So
there you go. Yeah. All right, Meg. What were we talking about, folks? We really got off track. Third party games. Are you? We asked you already. I'm sorry. I'm all over.
Your cap is all over the place.
Chase tripped me up that we didn't talk about pro games.
You were saying worried about third party support. No. I mean. Immediate support, yes, because it's looking like we're probably not. We're going to miss out on a lot of games in the near future. I think that's definitely a case, but I really believe that down the line, Stadia is going to have all the support that they need. It's just a matter of time. But yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. Meg,
what are we? What's the question?
Can you repeat
the question?
Are you worried about third party support for Stadia? So like during the PS5 event, we heard about Resident Evil 8. Hitman 3, Pragmata, and the developers and publishers noted that these games are coming out for other platforms, but Stadia was not included in any of them. So do you have any worry that Capcom and others may not be supporting Stadia, or at least not right off the bat?
Yes, it does seem that way. Mm-hmm. It does, because why wouldn't they have said it was coming to Stadia if it was? Okay. But making a game for another platform, I mean, I don't know, but I think it takes a long time. So, I mean, if they've been working on a game for years, well, years ago, Stadia didn't exist. It's only 6 months old and a little bit. So, I mean, yeah, it takes time to get games ready for release and then port it onto another system. So I honestly thought it would be a little bit quicker. Actually, like I would have thought by now we would start to have all games start to be on all the consoles, but I'm gathering from what I'm seeing is going to take a little bit more time. But after a year or 2 years, like, we should be getting all the games the same. If a game's on PC and PlayStation on Xbox, it should be made for Stadia, because hopefully anybody who's starting to make a game now, going forward, they're going to be including Stadia on what they want, people to be able to play on.
Yeah,
I assume.
I feel like they were kind of late to the gaming side of it for Stadia. So like with they didn't have like a first party studio built up, having like a game kind of ready, at least at this point. So maybe just getting dev kits out to developers just was a late thing for them too. So I mean,
yeah.
I got a question for Meg. Meg, do you think Octaverse Triangular's coming to the system?
Octaverse Triangular.
Always did it right.
Yeah. Octagonal Pathways
awesome.
is a must-have.
Absolutely.
That'd be great with touch controls.
Yeah, it would be.
will
It would be. Link, try it out. Let us know. Get back to me.
Probably.
Ooh.
What is that?
What is that awful sound?
Eddie scared us again, man.
My ears
that wasn't me.
started
That's your money.
bleeding.
Sorry.
It wasn't Eddie for one. Like how we
Usually
instantly
is.
blame Eddie. We're like, Eddie.
The sound was playing for you guys?
Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah, we heard it.
Oh, sorry.
Your mic is hot. I actually think you are using the mic from the headset, right?
No. Uh-uh.
I thought he was too.
Because he leaned in, I heard him.
Yeah, he got really loud a second ago. Yeah.
It's like it
he did
fades
this.
in and
He
out.
did like this.
Oh, maybe that was it. Yeah.
I think he's using the mic from the headset. But
Yeah, it's fading in and out.
We're like, we know.
So
it's on my. Hold on, it's on my head. It's on my webcam mic. Ugh.
Your webcam.
it was. Look at that. Been there, done that. At least I didn't go 2 hours.
I had to use my webcam mic when I smashed my headset once. Back
You
in
went
the
Dr.
day.
Disrespect on your headset. What you're saying?
It was attached to my head and I stood up and it just disintegrated.
Sure.
It literally smashed. It was held together with an elastic before then. Honestly, guys, when I started, I was just a big loser. Like now. Still the same.
Stop.
Now, Megatron's gonna be on the next connectors.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're gonna host it.
No, they're done with
She's gonna
me.
host it.
They're done with me.
My name's Megan. Welcome to the Stadia Connect.
No.
All right, folks. I think that is a good place to stop it for the podcast portion.
Jake's right.
If you're listening to us, you should join us at youtube.com/Club Stadia for the after show, because we're going to talk about KFC releasing a console. Yes. The Colonel has put his hat into the gaming ring.
I revoke my last statement. I'm pre-ordering that shit.
So,
You can't unsee what we just saw.
no.
Yeah, that's what I was listening to, by the way. When I didn't know noises coming from
Ryan,
that.
we have to plug one more thing just very quickly before we shut the podcast down. Please go to @StadiaRocks on Twitter. Right now, he's doing a children versus cancer benefit to try to curb children's cancer. So please, he's got a cause that's up right now for that, and I just wanted to encourage people, if you can, please try to support that if you can. It's an amazing cause, so it's a big deal.
And you dropped the link in our chat, right?
I'm gonna grab it right now.
Yep, there it is. I see it.
Hold on.
Really have the @ symbol there?
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw the actual link to the thing.
Antonio, yeah, man.
And there it is. Yep. Perfect. Thank you. So stop, Antonio. Oh my lord.
Yeah,
about
man.
the Soldier Boy console. That was wow. That was pretty much just like an emulation rig.
Oh
wasn't
my
it?
god, yeah, Soldier Boy, that's crazy. I don't know what he was thinking. Like, that's gonna get pulled.
Money,
right?
that's what he was thinking. Much change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, folks. That does it for us in the typical 2 hour or so window that we do for the podcast listeners out there. If you're in the YouTube stream right now, stick around for the after show. We'll be talking with you and talking about Stadia adjacent stuff. So more about the PS5 event. We'll show you that KFC console we were just talking about, and then a lot more, including WB Gaming could be being sold. So that's a huge property up for sale. And then we'll let you guys plug your stuff one more time in case we got some new people rolling through the chat. So MM2K, we'll start in the opposite order. Let people know where they can find you.
BroadbandBullies.com, PNTSNetwork.com, on Twitch, MightyMost2000, and on YouTube, Stadia Dosage and MM2K. And one last plug, big surprise, I'm breaking it here. You guys asked for it. No, you didn't. But it is coming. SSC Podcast is coming in audio format to Anchor FM in Radio Public.
Nice.
Stay tuned for that. Coming next week.
Thought you were announcing a console too. I was about to say.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, Giovanni.
I was like, oh man, it's on. It's on.
So it's like a podcast where everyone has one.
Right.
Everyone's got a console. Chase, where can people find you?
My God. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Stadia Talk. You can also find me on Twitter at Phantom UFC Fan.
There you go. Eddie? What is he doing? Plugged in.
There you go. I just plugged in.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a lame joke. EddiePlayer1.com, guys. That's it.
Oh, it's a plug. I get it.
Right.
Wow.
Get with
I
it,
laugh.
Captain.
I'm a
laugh.
dad guy.
I got it.
I got that reference.
Aha! That's my line. That's my line. All right, Meg, where can people find you?
YouTube.com/MegatronX, and on Twitter it's Meg_Atron_X.
Perfect.
That's it.
Germani, you're up.
So youtube.com/LXIV Gold and Twitter LXIV Gold. Good.
Perfect. And I'm Brian. You can find me at this channel that you're watching right now. And then all our live gameplay streams after tomorrow will be moving over to twitch.tv/Club Stadia. And this has been the Stadia Initiative podcast. This is episode number 5. And this was known as Table for Six, which is an Avengers reference, which if you didn't get that, then I don't know what to tell you. So until next time, we enjoyed talking to you. I believe June 26th will be the next episode live on youtube.com/Club Stadia at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I said this last time, but hopefully we have a Connect to talk about them because I'm feeling good. The summer game is supposed to be ending around then anyway, so I think we might have some more big news to talk about. Hopefully we don't go another 2 weeks without Stadia saying anything, but we don't know. They're weird like that. So. Anything else, guys? I think that's a wrap.
I wanted to say that when you had posted that on Twitter, the round table for 6, I was literally eating. You know, I was getting my grub on, man.
Awesome.
So that's. Does he know? Are they watching? Cam, man. So that was good
true.
Stuff. Yeah. So that's all.
All right. We'll catch you guys down the road. We appreciate you listening to us through at this point. And those with us in the chat, stay around. We're going to be talking more with you guys. Ask your questions in the chat. We'll take them at the very end. Until next time, stay safe. Have a good one. And we will see you later. Thank you.
Hey.
Bye.
I did it all in the camera. See that?
Yeah. All right, we're good.
I always have to wave to the audio listeners. You know.
They can hear this.
Yeah,
Right.
They know that I'm
I
waving.
totally heard those peace symbols and those waves, man. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
they know.
I stick around for that.
Brian, I'm gonna get a refill and I'll be right back. But just before, I want to say that is a dope chair you got there, Germani. Is it comfortable?
Secret Lab.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I like it.
Did you get one of those special design ones, or just kind of like black and gold for?
No, it's
64 gold.
well, I guess that part, or this part here is the the 64 gold.
It's beautiful.
Stitching. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, but no.
It's just like my microphone. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. You are always rubbing that thing.
I
You know.
know.
Kinda odd, yeah.
Kind of like make sure it knows it's still there. I'm still here for you.
Right.
So, Eddie, go ahead and refill. I'm getting dangerously low as well, but I do have.
I'm gonna move the number 3. It's happening here in just a second. So.
Ooh.
Welcome to TSI Unfiltered. That's right. I'm just kidding. I'm not taking your shit, Chase. But this is
Hey, that's Kai, me, and Eddie's show.
That's true. But Eddie is not sitting with us, so that's why I said few. All right. So once again, we talk about the PS5 and Eddie just pieces off because he doesn't care. So
he wanted to go in about the price. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to.
Yeah, he's ready to knuckle up. He's ready.
I'm ready to box on that one because.
okay, so we'll wait for him to show up.
Chase was going in. He was like, I told you the price is gonna be crazy, son.
We'll wait till he shows back up. Let's talk about KFC. What in the hell?
This cannot be real. This has
It's got,
bro.
I
I
look
looked at
It's
it. Money.
got the Zinger chip. It's got the Zinger processor chip in it, bro.
Bro, listen. I legit looked at the date to see it. Is this shit an April Fool's article? Like, what the hell is this?
Bro, this was a
I
couple
know.
hours ago.
5 hours
I
ago.
know.
Yeah, 2 hours ago, bro.
So
You gotta play the video.
It wasn't working for me. It said media was not accessible.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Maybe they took it down.
Here we go. As crazy
No,
as KFC,
Go ahead.
as crazy as KFC making a game console sounds, there's actually some precedent behind the announcement. The fast food brand has been diving into various product categories over the years, from the recent chicken-themed Crocs, which that's news to me. I'm going to click that and find out. To an even more ludicrous $10,000 internet escape pod, but all of that is trumped by the very real Colonel Sanders dating simulator, which is apparently in the Steam store. Holy hell, it is. Hold on.
What?
Back up.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Oh my god! No way!
It's
No
coming.
way.
Everybody was thinking it was gonna be Amazon. It's motherfucking the Colonel, bro.
This has got to be a joke.
You would not want a new console with a 12-piece.
It's free to play.
There's no way that's real.
Stream it tonight. Stream it.
Somebody, you can't, bro. Did you just say they get a console with a 12?
With a free 12 months with a 12-piece.
Chase. KFC is
That's
producer in the Serengeti.
their pro membership.
I don't believe it.
MM.
I don't believe it.
That's their pro membership model.
Say it again. What
said-
KFC's a Serengeti, right?
So he said it's the new lion in the Serengeti.
Yeah.
It's the rooster in the Serengeti. He did not fly by on a salt shaker. No, he did not.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
That 12-piece, son.
Oh my god!
Bro, I cannot with this right now.
Just run out the KFC console.
Oh,
That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Was I dreaming?
Oh my!
No, it's real,
why?
Eddie. It's really happening.
Did I have an acid trip? Why you guys were gone
Yeah,
watching
right. What is in this drink I'm drinking? Oh my god.
We're gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, I had dreams about KFC making a video game. Wait a minute, that
my
shit was real.
God.
We really talked about this.
Oh man.
He
Okay.
flew by on a salt shaker. No, he did not.
Yeah.
We did not.
The Zinger processor chip is clocked at 11 gigahertz, by the way.
Oh shit.
So is the console a real object? Like I
No,
but,
it's,
okay.
it is an April Fool's joke, but
In June.
in June.
Right, yeah.
Okay, okay.
The pandemic kind of pushed it back a couple months.
Right. I think it's just all the press surrounding the PlayStation 5.
So Germany,
Okay,
talking
okay,
about
okay.
the PlayStation 5, I did some research and I was looking prices of Xbox, because Xbox currently has, I think, 3 or 4 models, right?
Oh, you talking about the current one?
Yeah, the current generation have.
Yeah, 3 models. The S, the SAT edition, all digital, and then the X.
So the all digital edition, I think it's $50 cheaper than the Xbox S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should at least be around $50 cheaper.
So and that's what people were saying. Usually, when has diskless option,
yeah,
it's $50 cheaper. So that's why I still believe it's going to be $450 and $500 for the Chase is denying itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
God.
Nope.
I think so.
That SSD is way too. Listen, y'all. I'm telling you, historical precedents, man.
They're gonna take a loss. They're gonna take a loss on the price.
20% though. I mean, that is.
They're gonna take a loss in the price, Chase.
Their shareholders. pulled up
Chase,
one of
but
the.
think about it. It's a less than 1,000. It's a less than a terabyte SSD.
Yeah. No,
That's-
but the digital is going to be 2 though, bro. They've already.
Who said that?
What?
There's been talk about that in some of the
No. If you look at the comparison, they just say it's 825. That's the thing.
Yeah. So here's what
that would be disadvantageous for them, though, man. All digital, then you're gonna make the price equal or higher with a 2 terabyte drive. Like,
So
no, I didn't. No, that's not what I said. I said that the 2 terabyte drive is expensive. Okay, but if they're not putting in the Ultra Blu-ray drive in there, that's also driving that cost. So that's where they're going to make their margins up to try to cut the cost to get the digital cheaper. The point I'm trying to make is if you look at the GPU that's in that thing, the CPU that's in that thing, plus the SSD, which still hasn't come down in price across any markets right now, and you're dealing with a pandemic and the cost of that thing being shipped, they are not going to be able to get that thing below a margin where they can eat 20%. And they just had in their financial call, I don't know, it was quarter 3 or 4 of last year, they had shareholders coming at their, again, we were talking about this, they had shareholders coming at their throat, basically saying, we're not going to put up with you beating us down as far as us getting our dividends at 15%. So you're going to tell these people that they're going to have to eat 20%? I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it.
where are you getting that number from?
Because historical context on these consoles, normally you would only see them take a 10% hit, and that has been the historical trend. So like when you've seen the PS4 when it dropped in price, in its first 2 years, of sales, they would only be willing to eat that 10% cost.
Well, I'm saying like you know the manufacturing cost is what I'm saying, because you're getting 20% from what?
No, 20% off of what the cost is overall. So like, let's say that the console MSRP, like not for the sale price, but what's in the console is, I don't know, help me out here. Is it, what we want to say, 750, 725, and that's probably a low number. 10% off of that's going to be putting you down close to that $100 mark. So if you're getting down to $600, that's the most that they'd be willing to take a hit on to try to be willing to because of the cost of the components that are inside of it.
You're saying the hardware, the total cost for the manufacturing of the console,
correct,
around $725 is what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to get at.
That's what I think. That's my guess, because I looked at some of the components that were in there, and we're talking some serious numbers. Like compared to what the Xbox is doing, I'm not trying to knock the Xbox, but there's some beefier hardware in this PlayStation. There's no denying it.
But here's the thing: we don't know how many units they are planning to produce at launch.
Yep.
And we don't know, we all know that when you do large business scale, you can get a huge discount on price.
Discount price, yeah.
Even myself, like when I did, it's a junior comparison here, but I made 200 of these. If I made it 500 of these, I would get a 10% discount. So it all depends on the amount of things you are doing of units. So like even these SSD here, which says again 825. If you get a comparison of SSD like this for the market on the PC, well, of course it's one price. But when you're talking about millions of units that is going to be on this PlayStation 5, they probably get a better price deal.
They definitely get a better price deal.
I think that the truth may be somewhere in the middle, because you guys both bring up great points on both sides. We, in doing some deep diving, it appears that Sony was actually trying to release this thing in 2019. All right. So here's what happened per a lot of the information that I've seen. They were trying to drop it in 2019. They bought wafers of APUs. Now, what a wafer of an APU is, when AMD goes to make the APU to CPU / GPU combo, you have to in advance buy. They create a wafer, which is like think of a cookie sheet of the silicon and stuff like that. And there's so many of the pieces made for each individual APU. Sony had priced the wafer. So you might get like 50 APUs per wafer. Sony had priced the wafer a certain way. And then when they realized they had to overclock the CPU, or when they decided to overclock the APU, that's what pushed it back to 2020. Sony was supposed to come out in 2019. Now, in relation to what Chase is saying about the the SSD, the SSD tech is expensive altogether. So yes, to Chase's point, if this thing is like $750 to develop,
Right.
If you go under $600, you're going under the 20% hit price because it looks like Sony kind of they're spending more money than they wanted to.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
Phil Harrison alluded to this when he was talking about the PlayStation 3 in that little snippet I gave. However, on the other side of that, though, I do believe they are going to take an unprecedented hit. Yeah. Here's why. I think what they've said to the investors is, look, we are going to get a hit the first year or two up front, but we are looking to go and do streaming more than we ever had. So that cost of that console, you ain't got to worry about because in year 3, we're going to get more people than ever on PlayStation Now because we're going to raise the capacity thanks to our partnership with Microsoft. And that hit that we took in year 1 and year 2, you ain't got to worry about it. That's just what I think. But yeah, both sides are right. But definitely what Chase is talking to is an important factor. And it is even more important this time, because I think Sony was looking to come out in 2019.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, I mean, if their price of production for the hardware is that high, then yeah, that's a definite hit. But I don't think it's that high. And I definitely think they're willing to take a hit to stay in the lead. They need to maintain that lead right now, because I think between them, Microsoft and Google, they're the less capable of moving forward in this next generation. So they need their lead.
And Microsoft already has said they are willing to take a hit. They're on the first 10 million units, selling $100 cheaper than the PS4 or the PS5.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be as it is the title. It's console wars.
Yep, they're gonna take a hit.
So the only reason I'm even putting this out there this way is, and I have to be very careful how I say this. Let me just say that I have friends that work in different sectors of said areas of said business. And that's where I'm drawing some of these inferences from, that the cost of this thing is hella expensive compared to years past. So I'm going off historical context of percentages that, listen, y'all could be right. They may have to tell shareholders like, look, right now we're in a pandemic. Y'all are going to have to eat 20. It is what it is. Get over it. That's fine. I'm just saying in the moment, I haven't seen enough radical shifts in where we're seeing that movement from the conversations from the Sony side, that's where they're getting ready to move. Now, listen, if they do it, they do it, and I'll eat crow, but I'm just not seeing it yet.
Yeah, it would be unprecedented. It would be unprecedented.
But it's that expensive, first of all. Yeah,
I think Chase is right. Definitely, like Sony was looking to purchase the silicon and do the wafers in 2019, and because they got wind of the T-flops of the Xbox, they said we're going to overclock this thing, and that's when the whole variable refresh rate thing happened. That was something that they put Mark Cerny on like at the last minute, and he did wonders with it from what I hear. But then that changed the price that they got for the wafers, for the mass production, and all that stuff, and then that did shoot up the price from what I understand. But again, to what Eddie and Jamani is saying, I think that this is just a theory. I do think that this is going to be unprecedented. They're going to eat that cost with the hopes of making it back up with the streaming.
Yeah, they need it. Yeah.
Do you think what they'll do, MM? Let me ask you this, and I'm just thinking with a tinfoil hat for a second. Do you think what they'll do is they'll produce more digital than they will the disc version, and then that's how they'll offset the cost? Because if they make less of the disc, then to Eddie's point, then I could see them making up the margins.
Hey, look! Just look at the precedent that's already been set. First and foremost, this is the first time that they've done a digital we would have expected Xbox to do that first. Yep. Secondly, don't forget what they did last year. They cut off all their digital sales at GameStop, which was probably one of their biggest digital retailers. So they're looking to make that up in other avenues.
Yep. And I think, first of all, the digital version looks right. I'm gonna lie, like the disc slot on the standard one looks a little off. You know what I'm saying? So there's a visual appeal there, and then I think with the price of the all digital version is going to definitely drive a lot of consumers over to that.
But this is why I say, just to throw this out there real quick, and I'll shut up, I promise. This is why I think it might be cheaper. Just removing the disc alone, from what I understand, it's only $9 to $15 that they save. So you're not going to change the retail $9 or $15. I think what's happening is they might have used those other silicons for the digital version, and that's where the clock speed might not be as high. It'll be slightly lower. It's still going to look what Sony did.
So wait, you're saying that the digital version is actually a weaker performing platform?
That's what I'm theorizing. I don't know. I'm not saying this is what I'm throwing out there because you make a digital version and people are like, oh, the digital version is going to be cheaper. How much cheaper is going to be? They're only saving $9 to $15.
We'll put it this way, though. They get guaranteed full sale profit on each of those sales. So how much do they really make in return, knowing they've guaranteed a digital customer?
Well, if you cut out physical sales, that is an extra $11 per sale. So yeah, I can see that.
So now we're looking at $20, $30.
Sorry. You're saying that
because third party takes a percentage. They take a percentage from third party sales.
No, but not only third party. You're saying that all the logistics of printing the game, creating the physical media, having it delivered to the Walmart, let's say, that is 11 from those $60.
Right. No, 11 is the price. That's but then what happens is
the chain as well. Yeah. Absolutely.
What we may not be aware of is that there's a certain type of taxation on digital distribution that you don't even see on physical distribution. So from what numbers that I've seen, you are right, Eddie. It's not as much, but it's still close. So when you make a physical copy, there's a wholesaler you got to make a deal with. Then there's the jobber that has to deliver it. But the taxes that they put on digital sales kind of is close. It's like 80% of that. I'm just throwing a number out there. It's kind of close to that. So yeah, but you're right. They would save money on digital sales.
Yeah. So I mean, they're making up a tremendous amount of money in sales, and then their own first party games, they'll make even more profit on those. So.
In every industry, not every industry, but every player here realized that $60, either digital or physical, it's the way to go right now. Everyone is willing to pay.
Right.
When digital media came around, everyone said, "Oh, so I'm getting the same thing, but I'm not getting anything to have it on my hand."
Yeah,
but still the same price. So there was this discussion when digital came around because everyone wanted to pay cheaper for something that was only digital, and they didn't. So maybe there's a huge margin here that we can take right now if we go all digital. So they aim it on that.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying the allure will entice you more with a cheaper digital, even though we may not make it right there on the console sale, but our hope is that we'll lure you to the all digital model, so you don't go to a GameStop. I mean, it's possible. It's possible,
and that effectively moves them out of that space, and they make a much more profit on each sale.
That's how I could see Eddie's point making sense, because they would then make up the margins on that $15 across. Let's say I'm just going to give you an arbitrary number. So let's say that there's 30 consoles made. 20 of those are digital, 10 are the physical. You're going to end up offsetting that cost on the 20 digital versus the 10 just by sheer number and by the sheer economic value behind it. So this is where I pulled the what has been said in forums, and this has been pretty consistent in a lot of the forums I'm seeing. The digital version is going to have a 2 terabyte hard drive. That's what they're saying, to offset you not having the physical copy of the game. I don't know why that's the case, but that's what people are saying. So this actually backs it up right here. So that was part of the other reason why I was saying that when you look at the SSD tech in it, that's why I just don't see how they're going to get this down to $499 for the highest model. Like, I don't know that that's even. I could see it for the digital, like the all digital. I could see them finding a way to get that one to 500, but the physical, I just don't see it.
So you guys looking, if you end up going with the PS5, digital, or you think
I'm definitely going digital? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think more than most, we'd probably lean that way, just considering the platform we mainly play on. But
and I think they know it's the right time for that, because that's where we're moving.
Yeah.
So they could they're gonna make that back, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna make that shit back in spades. And people are gonna be talking about this like, oh wow, we're in an all digital future, blah blah blah. And eventually we're gonna be in streaming. And it's like it never was a transition. This was, why haven't we done this sooner? Oh, this is great. This is gonna happen. So
it's because of the fanboys. Look how the fanboys. Of course. Look how they laughed at Xbox because they were doing it. I mean, I get laughing at Xbox.
It was funny because it was called the SAD.
It was because of stuff. Yeah. but you had some of the extremists and the zealots out there saying, "Yeah, you can't do this. I want to own my game." You don't own anything. You just get leased.
You already buy digital copies on your disc version. We know this. Exactly. Come on now, stop lying to yourself. Yeah,
stop it. So, what I want, you want me to bring this up, Chase?
No, I was just throwing extra in case anybody was wanting to look at it. You don't have to show it.
Okay. This kind of falls into what I'm going to ask next. So the PlayStation 5 event just happened. Obviously, that's what we're talking about and why we're talking about it. What can Google learn from this, if anything?
Ooh, Chase, you got a lot to say in that regard.
What could Google learn from the Sony press conference?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the
event. Yeah, the event.
I mean,
everything.
I mean, what is there not to learn from it? I mean, the way that they marketed the damn thing before it even happened, they had this thing on hype for like days, like literally every day they were talking about it. And they had a lot of us believe that they were going to do streaming tech, which they didn't do. I was a little disappointed that they kind of alluded to that, and that did not make its way into the press conference, but that's neither here nor there. But I think
real quick though, isn't announcing an all digital version a first step in them going to streaming?
It is, but I wanted them to just say that I wanted them to say this is where we've been, which they did at the very beginning of the press conference. They showed you where they had been, and I really liked that montage of the original PlayStation, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the 4, and then up to where we were at today. Yeah. But they needed to also talk about the next move. And this is in the now, this console. But what's going to happen in the year to 2 years when this thing starts reaching its maturity? Because that's what's going to happen.
But that's not the point. No, not that. Sorry, not that. That's not the point. But that's not the time to talk about future of something that you are just presenting.
Right.
Go
ahead. No. I'm sorry. You should be able to respond. Yeah.
I was just going to say I disagree, but it's only because they're already behind the eight ball. Everybody else is talking about streaming. They can't wait. They have no more. Sony has put themselves in a corner on this one, and if they continue to wait, they're going to get left behind.
Okay.
That's just my opinion after watching Sony for years.
All right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree with the theory, Chase, but here's what they're doing, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just throwing it out there. Is that Jim Ryan has been getting hammered ever since they announced MLB. I mean, it's as stupid as it sounds. Ever since they announced that MLB was going multi-plat, which is great for the Sony bottom line. But again, you had the zealots. I mean, we've even had him on our show. You know, we had to kick the guy out and ban him because he said he was going to throw Molotov cocktails at Sony. That's how crazy and goofy people are. That because of this whole exclusive thing, you know what I mean? That he was upset about MLB going multi-plat. That being said, I think Herman Hulse he's been getting some ire with the zealots. They've been paying attention to it. Sony is a very mindshare focused company, and when that gets to a boil too much, then they go put out their rhetoric to calm it down. And remember, in that one interview that he did with GameIndustry.biz, Jim Ryan said, "We do not want to, do day and date, and we're not going to focus on streaming too much just yet because we want to handle our IPs with care and elegance." That made no sense. It made no sense, but it calmed down the zealots. Because what did he say to the investors, Chase? In that slide, streaming is going to be the mainstream way that we showcase our games. So it's coming. I just think that he's being mindful of the rhetoric right now. But in step one, to Jamani's point, was having a all digital console because the zealots just laughed at Xbox. Now the zealots accepted it. So now I think you're going to soon see them talk about streaming more.
Yeah, step two. And this is the thing. You got the most you got the best console on the market, by popularity is concerned, best selling, best popular, most popular, whatever. You've got the market in your hand. You don't want, look at what happened. You talking about learning from other companies. Look at what happened to Microsoft when they just totally did a 180 on their fan base. We're talking about TV shows, sports games, and all this stuff, movies. They're like, what? Oh no, PlayStation it is. You know what I mean? And it took this whole generation. They're still kissing the feet, of their fans, trying to make sure people stay. I mean, when the PlayStation 5 announcement was happening, you had people from Microsoft, oh, we've got that game too, please look at us, like, come on, they're still. And then you have Google, how they're doing completely digital or completely streaming. They're getting hammered all the way around the board from everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, we're in a good position. Of course, this is where we want to go, but we've got to slowly transition our fan base over to making this a normal thing and then bring it on in. And even PlayStation Now, they just have 2 million subscribers now. How long has PlayStation Now been out? This is the biggest brand in gaming, and you've only got 2 million subscribers. I'm sure we've got at least 2 million subscribers on Stadia. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I got to take the time.
I think there was a way they could have done it skillfully, and I think that they could have just said, this is where our mind is at. We want to eventually get to this point, but this is where we're at in the now. Yeah, I guess to the original question about like what could Google learn from this is like, number one, look at how they focused on IPs. I mean, they were just heavy. We know Google's not there yet, so I don't want to like ding them for that one. But I think the other issue is there were also IPs in here that were third-party IPs that, like, as soon as we heard something from these games, it's like if that was the reason that Stadia couldn't talk about them, which we know sometimes is the case, like this is the moment. Like you need to say something. So I don't know. It was games. They focused on, again, where they've been, where they're at now. I think that only missing piece was where they're going. They focused on their IP, their internal IP, those first party studio games, and then they focused on the third party stuff. It was just well balanced. And then they let the hardware. That's it. They let the games speak for the hardware. And I think that's all you need to do. You don't need to just boast teraflops and P's and K's and all that stupid foolishness. Like that stuff has got to stop. Like, just let the game speak for itself. And that's why I thought that as soon as I saw this conference launch, y'all, and we started getting through, and I said it on Germani's stream, like, they're not going to drop the price today because they don't want to run people off. They just want to say, they want people to be hooked in and go, that Ratchet and Clank game was amazing. This game was amazing. This game was amazing. So when they do drop the literal price on you, you're just going to say, I don't care. I'll open my wallet up.
Yeah, I heard a few of those. Yeah,
and Eddie had a good meme, but I mean that's I think that's exactly what the push was for them. So Google, just get some third party games, man. For the love of God, that's all you need to do.
So if we have no more PS5 thoughts, that's
oh well. I just wanted to mention during the stream, Bippity Bob did say that Call of Duty was not shown with the Xbox show, the event, or the PlayStation event, which revealed the console. It could be shown during this Connect. The next Call of Duty thing. I mean, it hasn't been shown with the two largest companies. They got 2 brand new consoles coming up. That's usually when they get those partnership deals to show off their new game on their new console.
So first question, does Activision have like their own event this summer?
They normally don't. They never do.
No, but there was an article, just to be fair, I've been big on the Activision thing. I think they came out and said something that they weren't going to be talking about anything until the fall. I swear I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, right before release.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I think the whole problem is their focus right now is on the next big IP for themselves. Like the Warzone's already established.
Right.
So that's probably what that is. I don't have the article. I'm sorry.
Well, the big rumor is a reboot in Black Ops, kind of like they did with Modern Warfare. So,
well, and people do need to watch that space, by the way. More so on the Treyarch side, because that's where the rumor is that's where that game's going to be developed. But Sledgehammer, interestingly enough, I was talking about this. They added a Linux and a Vulkan job posting at the same time to develop with those APIs. That's very intriguing because I don't remember seeing them do that anytime recently in the past couple of years. So sometimes you got to kind of look at the tea leaves and see maybe does that mean something,
Let me ask you, is that a recent job posting?
Yes, that was within the last 2 months.
Damn.
Yeah, it's kind of
That's
late.
too-
That's
that's too
late in the
soon.
game, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's better than never. I mean, otherwise, what would they be using that for? Or what could they? I think relevant. It's relevant to Stadia, obviously, right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that they can learn from that PlayStation event is be in tune with your consumer base and show that you care. That's one thing that,
Yeah, that's true.
They you know, I may have not jumped and clapped like a baby seal for it, but at the least what you saw all over Twitter is fans of the PlayStation were like, yes, we're here, baby. And then part 2 could be the part that knocks me out. You know what I mean? But that's what you at least gotta you have to get your base invigorated, then move from your base. And that's I think that's the biggest thing that Google can learn right now.
Yeah, they're finding their base.
Yeah.
Here it is. I found it. Hold on. I'm going to share the link in here. This is the article I read. And this is a pretty reliable Call of Duty site, by the way. They're usually pretty big on stuff.
Which, by the way, I was doing some research here. I couldn't find any conference from Activision. There is BlizzCon, but BlizzCon happens in November, and the 2020 edition has already been canceled.
Yeah, I believe Blizzard has nothing to do with Call of Duty, correct?
Just the Activision side.
It's just because it's the same parent company.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, your boy Jason Schreier is the one that actually talked about this, by the way.
Yeah.
The Call of Duty one?
Yeah, so there's a couple tweets in this article that I just sent y'all if you want to share it.
Here we go. Yep, there's Jason's name. Okay, share screen.
Keep in mind, Activision, even though they're still doing some good things, they haven't hit some key financial marks. And Bobby,
I was just getting ready to say they're pissed at him because he's getting overpaid.
He's still making over dollars. They're like, hold on, you're not hitting these marks, Bucko. And he's like, I don't care. I'm Bobby Kotick. And people ain't happy. So, yeah, they're probably going to go radio silent for a little bit, let some things die down. But Activision does do any. They're not known for doing a whole bunch of shows. They think that their shit doesn't stink like Rockstar. So,
yeah. I think the only thing that we could hear from Call of Duty or from Activision is Warzone. I don't think we're going to hear anything other than that, by the way.
And it's a good first step, to be honest. All right. So anything else on the PS5 event besides I wish Spider-Man was multi-platform?
Me too. That game was amazing. Miles Morales, baby.
Yeah, Miles Morales looked.
He looked legit, didn't he?
Yeah, man,
that is a reason for getting the PS5, and that's the reason I'm trying. I will probably get the PS5.
Is it DLC though for the current Spider-Man?
So here it's what was interesting about that. I don't know if Brian has the notes about that, but one guy from Sony tweeted saying it's a DLC, and then somebody else came and said it's not a DLC, it's a brand new game. Okay. It's not a full game, but it's a brand new game. Something like
Lost Legacy, Uncharted. So
yes, Uncharted. That is exactly what I was going to mention.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that worked.
What I was going to say here, I'm looking at Activision.
That's good. I'm glad then.
Activision Blizzard results from last quarter of actually first quarter of 2020.
Yeah.
So there's the revenue for Activision, there's the revenue for Blizzard, and there's the revenue for King. Do you guys know what King is?
Yeah, the Candy Crush team.
Candy Crush.
Oh, right.
Activision, 519 million. Blizzard, and all the games from Blizzard, 452 million.
I know King crushed it.
498 million.
For King?
And you guys think, yeah, as I said, so Candy Crush is almost as big
as a Blizzard
game.
Oh, yeah.
As all the Blizzard and Activision games, yeah.
Billion gamers.
And it's bigger than all of the Activision. It's bigger than World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Overwatch, and Diablo together, all together.
Yeah, that's a hyper casual game right there. I mean, so many people play that. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, mobile makes up over 50% of the gaming
revenue
industry's revenue. Yeah, Yeah, and it's funny because I remember like maybe 7 years ago, I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, man, mobile gaming is the future, bro. Mobile gaming. He's like, nah, it ain't shit. I'm like, here we are.
Maybe not for us,
right? But I mean, for gaming in as a whole, though.
If you are a gaming company,
right?
Of course, you gotta go mobile because you gotta get that revenue from the mobile.
Yeah.
But like myself, I'm not interested in mobile games.
No,
but,
not at all.
The revenue, it's where the revenue is coming from them.
Can't ignore it.
Yep.
I just wish they had better business tactics. I know that's why they've earned a lot of the money, and it didn't kind of poison the main game industry for a while.
Yeah,
yeah, because and I cannot stand their marketing. They show you a completely different game than what they're actually selling you on.
It's because they're a year-to-year business though, and see that's the problem.
Right. They may not exist in a year. Yeah.
That's the problem with gaming right now, man. Is they got out of the philosophy of we'll bring you the best game every 3 years, and then it turned into they need to give you a brand new game every year, and it's like,
gotcha. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Have you seen some of the mobile game ads these days, man? Like they'll literally show you like 2-3 minutes of some nonsense
game,
cinematic.
and then
cinematic.
But it's supposed to look like a game. They got the little menus, press this button and all that stuff. You go to the actual game, it's the top down.
No, it's just like a cinematic for the mobile gaming. When you open the mobile game, oh shit, it's not like that.
Not even close. Not even close. But yeah, there was a time when that was important to a lot of these companies, though, Chase. Actually just taking the time out to make a great game and just betting on that.
I mean, look at StarCraft. I mean, and I don't want to use this as a comparable example because it's not a mobile game, but they were so hesitant to make the second one for years because they were literally like taking that original game, they tore it completely down to its bare bones and rebuilt it from scratch. I mean, they put years into that game before they even said, you know what, we feel comfortable enough for the public to even look at this. That's what gaming needs to get back to, man.
Yep.
Instead of this rehashed Call of Duty year to year, end to end foolishness, man, because it's just the same freaking thing over and over again, and it just gets stale. That's why I'm so excited about Baldur's Gate, because God, look at how many years it's taken to get to this point.
Yeah, you know there's going to be some real love according to it.
Well,
exactly, man.
That's why we need Google and what they're doing to succeed and them to take more care with it. I mean, I think the reason why we're like this, and I saw this at the tail end of the prior gen, is that games are getting bigger. The tools are getting more expensive, but they're not getting more efficient. Meaning, if you want all these extra polygons and compute units, it's not like the new tools, the new Unreal Engines or the Unreal Engine 4 allowed you to do it with 30% less people. Now you need 30% more people to do it.
Right. Teams are bigger, yeah.
Exactly. And it's now Google who said, no, you can make those scale of games with what we're working on with a third of that staff, possibly. So all that stuff is amazing, and why we're bought into it. We just need Google to look like the Fortune 500 team to be behind it, so everybody else gets behind it.
Yeah, I just hope that they don't go the route that it looks like Microsoft is going with these cookie cutter press out every month games or every 2-week games, to fill a library type thing. You know what I mean? I hope they don't just try to make it to where it's like a machine press of, I hope there's still love and passion in this space.
Well, here's what Microsoft is doing, and that's because Satya Nadella is not a video game guy. Remember, he was like,
but neither. I mean,
yeah. But what I will say is that they worked on this more passionately under this current CEO did under Google than they did under Satya Nadella. Satya Nadella didn't care about the tech side all like that.
I see what you're saying.
He cared.
He walked into it where they were actually building this up.
Yeah, they were building it, but Satya cared more about just making money. Like you look at the quality of the games that came out of Xbox, they're dog shit. But they made $10 billion when Sony still made $16 billion in 1 year. You know what I mean? So Satya is like, I mean, this
prints money. So
it prints money. So that's where it's the quality question is more up to hand with Xbox, but the problem is that they got those partnerships, there and where Google doesn't have it yet, and they at least know how to talk the talk. They convinced you to buy another $500 box that launched with Super Lucky's Tales, for crying out loud, and we all fell for it.
Something like that,
we all fell for it. And Google just doesn't have. They don't look savvy. That's the word I've been looking for. They don't look savvy enough to sell what they're trying to put out there.
That's what you're saying. But you're still saying that where Satya Nadella just walked into a business that already established and was like, well, let's make this thing some money or make money with
exactly. Let's get this thing out of the red. That's what Satya said. Yep.
Google, this team, they actually were passionate from from the beginning steps to where it is now together. So they're okay.
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying.
They just got to get that gamer savvy to them to communicate it.
Yeah.
Brian, are you getting the mini fridge, the router, or none of those?
I like the high speed router, man.
There we go. We blow this up a little bit. Gifts you can hear. Me personally, I'll probably be going with the router. I am. I'm stoked for Spider-Man. I'm a little miffed. I won't say miffed because I love the Miles Morales character, one of the best characters in comics. So I'm excited for
get it right. He's probably
Spider-Verse was an amazing movie, right?
we're not disagreeing that, but I mean,
that was like my favorite comic book movie, man. I'm telling you.
I still have to watch that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Watch it.
Oh, by the way, Brian,
yes.
I watched Sonic the movie twice.
All right.
Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it was good. I was so sad though, man. I ain't doing boy Sonic. Like he was all sad.
That ending though, man.
But yeah, it was great. It was a great movie.
Yeah,
man.
I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
Meg probably still hasn't seen that either.
I know I haven't.
I knew it. Seriously, Spider-Verse is like it's in the conversation for best comic book movie ever. It's that good.
Yeah,
did it win an Oscar?
It was so good.
It wasn't the Oscars, right?
Yeah, it was.
Did it win?
I don't. Sure.
I think it was nominated. I don't think it won.
It should have.
It should have. Yeah, that movie. I mean, just all around,
dude. Like the aesthetics, the soundtrack, the voice acting. It's good.
That was out of this world.
So I am pumped for the Miles Morales game. I'm hoping it's not of the length of Lost Legacy, which is what's been compared to, because Miles deserves his own story within the games. He's been built up in the first one. It's not too much of a spoiler because he's like almost right away you find out about him. And then the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, I'm looking forward to that one as well. So
that game looked fucking awesome.
That is probably my
call it.
And again, this is why I bet on Sony for the next generation when it comes to the consoles, because looking at their previous library, you can pretty much guarantee they're going to deliver, you know, in this space. They're going to give you a next generation experience, you know. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I think that game specifically might be my favorite new IP created this generation. I'm trying to think of other games that's been out.
I have to play this game. I still haven't purchased it yet. I got 5 games.
I believe it's like $10 for the complete edition right now, like Target or something. It's super cheap right now.
Physical. Okay. Well, that way.
Meg, of the PS5 games announced, this is a good segue, I think. But before we get there, was anything on the PS5 menu something that really excited you? I know you have a PlayStation history as well, so.
I do. I am hoping to move away from PlayStation. I'm not satisfied with it at all. I had the PS3 and the PS4 because that was what my friends gamed on. And so I felt obliged to get that to play with them. Okay. I was always an Xbox girl though. And I think that's where if I have to get a console, that's where I'll end up. I would ideally not like to have to invest in any more hardware. That is why I love Stadia so much.
That's why we're here.
Hearing you guys talk about the teraflops and the space and the upgrade and the whatever. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Checked out. She's done.
It's turning
Like-
his stomach.
Let me get my controller in game, whatever it is.
Stadia has teraflops and gigawatts too.
It's like, well, I know,
That's
but I don't
gigawatts.
care. I don't have to worry about it.
gigawatts and gigabots and
Stadia is
It has
just about the.
gigawatts.
It's just about the games, right?
Yes.
So if anything, I might spend a few $100s to upgrade whatever my graphics card so I can take advantage of like whatever games you can play on your computer that you don't have to buy a console for. And then I don't have to worry about it. So probably that's what I am going to want to do. I did not watch the entire play. Okay, just full disclosure. I slept through it. I literally slept through it along with everybody playing on the fancy new Gods and Monsters. I slept through that too. Or I could have got a little gameplay in. So, but there was a couple that I found kind of interesting that I thought was cool. Now, please, I hope this was from the PlayStation thing. The underwater one.
That's
where
Horizon.
It's Horizon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where you're learning about animal like sea creatures
Oh,
and
no.
swimming.
No.
What's
No.
that one? And you do research and you're
Giovanni's
scuba
like to the
diving.
left.
Oh.
No, man.
Was this like some Steam early access game? or something?
No,
No,
guys, somebody back me up. Somebody
That's
tell
blue
Link,
something.
There was
She's like Link.
Link, back me up here.
Hey, you know how Jamani is with Link. We don't need to bring him into this. He's like, I already smoked that fool during the PUBG tournament. I don't need to talk about him.
I ain't smoking.
Yeah.
That was Storm. He smoked him. I ain't taking that credit.
Far shore,
Please
maybe.
save me. Oh man. But I like that because I scuba dive back in the day. I used to scuba dive all the time.
There
And
was
so
a
that
game
really
with
appealed
that.
to me. Let me look it up.
I
Guys.
think it's
Okay,
the
let me
far
look it up.
shore. That might be it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it was shown earlier because there was the IGN show, and it was one that there were whales, and then you follow the whale.
Beyond Blue.
Beyond Blue. That's the name of the game. Yes.
Beyond Blue. Okay. All right.
Hope I hit you up. Was
Maybe it's PlayStation. I don't know, guys.
No, it
I don't
wasn't.
know.
man.
No.
But it's
Damn
coming,
it!
It's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming to the
this is on
PlayStation as well.
Steam, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's coming to the PlayStation, so there you
Yeah,
go.
Oh, really?
But yeah, guys,
They
I
showed
literally
that during the
No,
showed
no,
that?
it was on
No.
the IGN show.
it was the
Oh,
Summerfest. I'm
oh.
the Summerfest. Oh my god. Okay, so guys, that's how dedicated to Stadia I am. I'm not even paying attention to these PS5 games.
This
But-
ain't a game for Stadia.
If Fable comes out on Xbox and I have to buy an Xbox to play it, I will. So
Which it will.
that's
Oh,
it.
Fable.
That's
Fable's a
the
big
thing
IP.
for me. Exclusive
actually-
titles, if it's like I have to have it, but so PlayStation, oh my god, I'm so dissatisfied with the PlayStation 3 and 4 that I hope I never have to go back there. And then seeing with it, double don't want it, but I also don't want the mini fridge. So I don't know, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So you think the
can't.
PS5 is ugly too? PS5 is ugly
Yeah, come on. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see any of it.
I
And
think
the
it looks like an
PlayStation,
Alienware.
I know
It looks like a router too, but it looks like Alienware.
it's
It just
just-
screams
it's-
Alienware to me.
Yeah. I could see that actually. I could see
Yeah.
that. I like how it's the router or the fridge. I really
Yeah, that is
funny.
funny.
Rather
These poor designers spent years pouring their hearts and souls into this design, right? And we rip it up instantly. But what can you
Someone
do?
took a Netgear router and put two pieces
Two-
of paper
Yeah.
on both sides.
2 pieces of mail. Dude, somebody was saying that Sony turned their PlayStation 5 into a router to reduce their ping, and then
Yeah.
and Microsoft made a mini fridge to reduce the heat.
Can I tell you guys a secret? I know the person that took the 2 pieces of mail and made it the Decker. I know
Nice.
the person that did that.
Tell them they routed Dusty, and they need to reduce that shit mad Dusty, son. But that's just funny though.
All right, moving on. So Meg was talking about exclusives. We were all talking about exclusives, and I think it's time for us to kind of fantasy draft some games here
All right.
for Stadia. So, Meg, we'll start with you because you were just talking about it. Of the 3 main console manufacturers, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, what games that are exclusive to those platforms would you like to pluck and bring over to Stadia?
I just said it, and I'll say it again so that everybody is clear. Fable.
Fable.
It is so fun. The combat style, the world, you get a little dog that runs around and fights for you, and he shows you treasure. And the way he, like, I saw a little developers clip about like how what they wanted the companionship to feel like. I mean, I've had animal pets in all the MMOs that are out there, and like the liveliness of this little guy that you get in Fable is just amazing. Plus, your choices have meaning, the good and the evil, and it reflects in the look of your character. And like, I played and replayed Fable so many times. I just I'm gonna have to buy an Xbox. Like, there's no way around it, because if they make a new one, I just have to have it.
Hold on, it'll probably be on PC.
Yeah, it'll be on PC.
Game Pass.
If it comes out. Yes.
If it is on the Game Pass, then I'll have to buy the Game
it'll have
Pass.
to be. If it's an exclusive game, they have to.
Yeah,
honor it.
It has to.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. There you
They
go.
have
That's
to do
it.
that.
I'm done. That's it. If it came to Stadia, I would become a Fable only Stadia streamer. I would
Wow.
just convert.
See what the cloud can do for you, Microsoft. You just got a sale right there. So there you go. Your subscription, if you will.
Tons of sales too. 'cause that
So,
would be
what
amazing.
Nintendo exclusive would you bring over, Meg? I know you're not really much of a Nintendo person or have much Nintendo experience, but of the games you've seen, what looks interesting that you'd pull? if you
Okay,
could?
well then, Breath of the Wild is
Sure.
that? Okay,
Animal
there we
Farm.
go.
Animal Farm.
Because Animal
Stop
Farm,
it.
Animal
yeah,
Farm.
Animal Farm and Octagonal Traveler Pathways.
Oh my god.
Breath of the Wild, because I never played it, but you guys said that Windbreaker one.
Waker.
Windbreaker?
Windbreaker?
What?
No,
Here's coming back
Windbound.
with more.
Oh,
What is it?
Wind
Yeah,
Waker.
After
Wake.
show is a must, because that's when the alcohol hits, folks.
Octagonal
Windbreaker.
Traveler and Windbreaker are
Blame it on the alcohol.
So now we're talking about actual clothing, Windbreaker.
Windbreakers. Don't leave home without it. That one, Windbound, and the other one, Breath, Gods and Monsters. You guys were like, "Oh, I'm getting the Call of the Wilds." Breath of the
Stop. We got
I'm
it.
getting that right, and I'm like, oh, these games really appeal to me, so maybe I should check out this game.
Breath of the Wild.
So they should bring that to Stadia so that I can enjoy it and we can all enjoy it together.
Oh.
MM2K. What three games would you be bringing over? Let me preface this. It could just be an IP. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a specific like title too, by the way.
Well, for PlayStation, can I do 4 real quick? Yeah. For PlayStation, it would be it's hard. It's a cross between God of War and Last of Us. That's hard. Xbox, I don't know if you can put dog shit on Stadia, but I don't know, man.
Oh my god!
Maybe if they bring back, you know what?
There were good games on Xbox before.
You know what? I was an Xbox gamer that didn't like their first party. I was there for the second party deal. So,
okay.
I don't know. Fable, I would be with maybe Fable. You know, for Nintendo, definitely Metroid Prime. And I want to throw a PC game out there. You know, for the faint of heart, cover your ears, but Get the Fuck Out. Get the Fuck Out that's the actual name of a game, but that game looks awesome, and I want that on Stadia so bad.
What's it
it's
about?
It's like an underground or it's like it's
Left
4 Dead
or something like that.
Yeah, GTFO. Yep.
Okay.
GTFO. It's like Left 4 Dead meets what's that, Event Horizon? Remember that movie Event Horizon? It's like that.
Oh wow,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, Chase. What 3 IPs would you bring over, or titles?
Ooh, this looks good.
And they have to be exclusive to those platforms.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I always go to my go-tos because it's just they're games that I know. But I guess SOCOM would be one, but that's probably, again, never going to happen. I'm trying to think like what else from Sony that I would like to see that's dope.
I've never seen this. Sorry.
Was it a GTFO?
Yeah.
I told you, bro. Yeah,
They showed a trailer of this at the Game Awards, right?
yeah they did. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
No, you meaning the Summer of Gaming?
No.
They
Game
showed it
Awards.
there too. They showed
Yeah,
it
it
there, but it
was
originally
at
came
the
out. It was originally at I'm sorry, Chase. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
I think SOCOM works. I mean,
Yeah.
SOCOM.
Xbox.
I mean,
They still own the IP, so yeah.
Yes,
they do. Yeah, they do. But I was gonna say, like, God of War is another one that, I mean, I know it's not gonna happen, but again, I love that franchise. It's one of the ones that got me into RPGs.
well, let's be real. None of these will happen. It's just
Right.
Yeah, so
fantasy.
yeah, from Nintendo. Oh man, I mean, there's Mario Kart, Yoshi's Island.
God.
Like, if they did a remake of something like that, that would be a wrap for me, especially if it was on Stadia. Xbox, I'd like to see Forza. I mean, I like
good racing franchise.
Yeah, I like the simulation games, and I know that, of course, Gran Turismo is Sony property, so that's the other side of it. Sea of Thieves is an Xbox exclusive, right?
Yes.
So that's another one that I would like to see. I mean, Halo, we kind of know that one's not going to be locked to Xbox anymore. They've already talked about that's eventually going to make its way out to kind of everything. So maybe we'll see Halo on Stadia at some point. That would be interesting.
That would be really interesting, yeah.
Not that I'm a fan of that game anymore. I mean, it's kind of been played out, but you know, again.
Well, wasn't it you that was showing off that Fallout 76 has more Steam users than Master Chief Collection right now?
Yeah, and I mean, and that's nothing to. I mean, look here, Master Chief Collect. The old school Halo is praised more than the new school. So the Bungie Halo is beloved. The 343 Halo, not so much. So that adds, that underlines what Chase was just saying.
Right, even more so. It's not going to happen.
But the games they have on there right now are from. I mean, 343 might be the ones working on it, but they came from Bungie originally, right?
Exactly.
Right, they're essentially the same.
1, 2, 3's on there now, I think. Or ODST is, I think.
I'll throw a game in here that is on multiple platforms, but they need this. They need this type of game because there's an absence of it on the platform right now, and that's an RTS style game, a Command and Conquer. They need a Command and Conquer type of game. That's the one thing. Like, if I was to say this, if you were to ask me, like, what is Stadia missing today that's like a major void that's completely missing from the platform, it's RTS. Like, I can't think of one game on the platform right now that is RTS. There isn't any. They have none. Like, there's no StarCraft, which again, not expecting that to be there. There's no Command and Conquer. Like, they need an RTS game bad, because there's people that love RTS games. Like, that's their thing. That's their jam, you know?
There you go. I would go to Eddie next, but I'll wait till he finishes eating. Germani, how about you?
Oh man, so what would I like to see from? Let me just go ahead and get Nintendo out of the way, because I know for sure what I like to see from them. I mean, we've already got the Mario Kart, you know, but let me and of course Zelda, Mario. But what I really like to see, something a bit different than those usual games, would be F-Zero, because I just want that franchise to come back. You know, and I think it'll be able to take huge advantage of Stadia's online capabilities and have a multiplayer, just like 30 racers per race.
Sure.
So 30 people on a F-Zero track would be just, I just want that in my life. And then,
goddamn, Super Smash Brother. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it! I wanted him not to say anything.
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't even gonna say Smash. You can have that one. It's cool.
No, I mean G-Mill said it in the chat first, and
okay. He just saw that. Okay, but Splatoon, man, Splatoon.
Okay.
That game is massive, and it's such a good game. Like, it is a spectacular multiplayer competitive game. That would be amazing on Stadia. I just think, yeah. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it. Everything else for me, it's whatever.
He's going to trade away his draft picks to Eddie. So
it's
Eddie,
whatever. Yeah.
Here we go.
Mario, the whole franchise, all of the Mario games on the past or coming forward. God of War, all of the past and the coming forward. And Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Ooh,
which isn't technically an exclusive because it's on the Switch.
Yeah.
Oh?
It's on the Switch. Yep.
Ooh,
both of them are actually.
Yep.
All right.
So it's kind of like Minecraft, where they own it, but they're still like leasing out the property to.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna check it.
Well, I mean, I guess you can count that. I guess. I mean, it's from a Microsoft studio.
Yeah, but I didn't know
And
it was
it's
available on
not
the
on
Switch.
Stadia though. You didn't know it was available on the Switch?
No.
That was big news, bro. Mhm.
When was it? Because it was launched like
Beginning of the
2
year,
months
right?
ago.
It launched, I think, same day as the
Maybe a
Xbox
year.
One. The second one, I think, did.
No,
well,
but wow, guys, I'm meaning that the last one, which was launched in March.
Yep, it's on the Switch.
the second one is. I know the
Well, no.
first one is.
Let
I
me just
know.
double check. I'm
I
almost
know the
positive.
second one is. Okay, hold on.
Well, maybe not. Will and the Wisp may not be. The first one is for sure.
Yeah,
Well, I
first
see a
one, first one.
petition. On
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Change
Will and the
.org.
Wisp is not.
Make
But
Ori and Will of the Wisps available for Nintendo Switch.
Right. The first one is though. Yeah, no, not the second.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
first
the second
one
one looked gorgeous on the Xbox. So that was the one title from Xbox. I could say Forza as well, but I think I will be happy already to have Gran Turismo, because comparing Forza and Gran Turismo, for me, Gran Turismo, it's always been the very
Like the
only
Apex.
one simulated race car simulator. I'm not just saying racing, because when you look inside the car, everything it's as it is.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, Forza is great as well. But comparing Forza and Gran Turismo, it's Gran Turismo.
dude, the customization in Forza though is top notch. Like you see the designs people do in that game.
Yeah.
Insane. It's insane.
Are we talking about Motorsports or Horizon?
Motorsport.
Okay.
Horizon might have the same thing, but I mean, I know in Motorsport, like at least since the 360 days, people got really nuts with the like making their own custom paint and like doing all these crazy logos and different designs. It's really impressive.
Okay.
But our boy Static Fox is back with another $5 super chat. Fox is an awesome member of the community. He says that I don't like Xbox, but Minecraft makes Xbox millions of dollars a month. That's what Stadia needs to keep up the good work, family.
Great.
Thank you for the kind words.
Straight up.
Oh, he was saying they need Minecraft. Like they need Minecraft itself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, that's not. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I misunderstood that. So yeah, you're right, Jamani.
I still wouldn't buy it, but yeah,
Right.
it wouldn't hurt.
It might
No,
be
Minecraft
fire.
Dungeons is
It's
making
fire.
a Flash.
Yeah, I wanted to try that. Have you tried it, Eddie?
No, Minecraft it's not for me. But I see people are playing that.
Yeah.
Tommy Danger was playing that the other day.
Okay.
But yeah,
The Dungeons
Minecraft it's
one?
not for me. Yeah, he was playing the
Okay.
Dungeons one.
If they have a demo, I'd try it. I wouldn't just go buy it right away though.
And
Look,
Roblox is still popular too.
I think
Check that crate up.
Roblox.
I think it's in a Game Pass as well, Germani.
oh yeah.
Minecraft.
What?
So,
No, I have Minecraft already.
but the new one,
Yeah, you mean like you talking about Minecraft Dungeons?
yes,
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't have that now.
yeah, I think that's in Game Pass.
I think I still have my Game Pass. I should still have it.
So I have a
now, but
I have a question for everybody
Mhm.
because we didn't really talk about this in the podcast, but next Tuesday ESO drops.
right.
So the question for everybody is: are you going to buy the ESO premium content? So basically the $14.99 per month.
Oh, so they're charging a old school monthly subscription.
Well, yeah, that's what's on the PC version.
You can
too.
get it. You can
You
get
can
it.
get it. It's not required, Jamal.
No,
So-
I know. But I'm saying like in order for us
It's
to
like
do that
Fallout first.
on Stadia, they still require you to, if you wanted, then you pay an additional subscription.
No, it's not required. So basically, it's like this. So you're going to get the game for free on Pro. You get the
Right.
base game.
Right.
But if you want to get like extra room in like your bag, and you want
Oh.
extra like gold and
Yeah, exactly.
You wanna play the premium
the crowns, yeah, the crowns and like the extra crafting.
Yeah.
They give you monthly perks.
Yeah, they give you monthly perks. So that was my question because a lot of people
Okay. I see.
on the Stadia Reddit, they were actually saying they are getting. I was actually kind of surprised that
Okay.
people were going to go straight into it, but it's making me think about it now too.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the fan base behind that game is massive and very dedicated. So, absolutely.
No, and Chase, I'm sorry, I got to correct you, my good friend. You're selling Stadia short, and that is not allowed. No, with Elder Scrolls, you're getting not only the base game,
Greymore,
but
sorry.
you're getting the Morrowind chapter, the Somerset chapter, and the Elsewhere chapter.
You got to buy the
Actually,
Grey Mortgage, right?
It just comes
Uh-oh.
with the Morrowind.
So you're selling Stadia over.
Yeah.
You're overselling
Well,
it.
they sent me a knapsack. I'm allowed to.
It's
Are you
everything
serious?
up to Morrowind.
Are you serious, Meg?
Yeah,
That's all
it
you're getting
comes
is
with
Morrowind.
the base game plus the Morrowind expansion. Somerset,
Right.
Elsevier, and Greymore you have to pay for.
Pay
So-
for it. And that's expensive. It's
Hold on,
expensive, man.
hold on,
They
time
might have
out,
a discount
time out.
on it, but that shit is
MM, I believe this has been confirmed somewhere, but what you shared with us a couple weeks ago, that little expansion pack deal that we probably all bought. I
Yeah.
believe any DLC you buy on the PC version does carry over.
Oh, it does?
I-
Oh.
Yeah,
I
it's-
believe
Yeah.
so.
Apart from the
okay.
base game,
So if you've already got it, then because I'm
It carries a okay.
it will
all right.
cross entitlements.
See,
Exactly.
Meg, you're about to have me go there with and shoot some zombie in the nads. Oh,
No.
thank you for clarifying
So
that.
because
Zombie
the
tier.
base game is free on Stadia, you won't have to rebuy it, and your expansions that you purchase will transfer over.
We'll
so
transfer.
you're good.
Oh,
You're
okay.
good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, they're calling it cross entitlement. That's the new term.
Well,
Yeah.
Wow, that is.
I
Fancy
hope-
new term.
Well, then I recommend that everybody go. Brian, do you mind me dropping this in the chat?
Yeah, drop it if it's still available.
Yeah, go get it off of CD Keys just for
right. I was gonna say because
buy it now.
off of Steam.
You buy that link that I just put in the chat right now will take you to get those chapters on PC.
yeah, see,
Buy
that's
them. I
way
think it's
better.
what $16-17.
Yep.
Something
and then-
stupid low, yeah.
Yeah, and
that's
then
way
it'll
better.
automatically transfer over. Yeah. Oh, thanks for that, Meg. That's very important. Thank you.
Yeah, nice
No
save.
problem.
Nice
I'm
save on
super
that one.
excited. So I looked it all up.
So is anyone going to jump into the premium though? Is anyone
I
thinking
will.
about it?
You're paying
I'm
the fortune right
gonna-
now.
I plan to play a lot of this game, and I picked it up on PlayStation 4. I got a really good deal. I think I got up to Somerset. It was like $20 or something for all of it, and I was like, yeah. And I knew it was coming to Stadia in the future, and I wanted to kind of test out the game and see what I thought of it. I didn't know I'd be waiting this long, and within the first few days I was playing it, I was banging my head against the wall with the inventory space. So they really make it. It's almost like
Mhm.
try it,
Oh,
and if
yeah.
you really like it, pay monthly. And then it's like, but I never did it because I was like, I'm gonna wait. It was basically like, did I want to keep getting frustrated with my bags, or should I just wait for it to come out on Stadia and then go all in? And at that time, I didn't know there was going to be cross save, cross play, cross entitlement. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to wait. And when it comes out on Stadia, I'll go all in on it. So I just kind of put it on the back burner. But if you're serious about playing this game and leveling a bunch of characters and doing high end content, you're going to have to get the pro sub. So in my opinion.
So it's essentially it's like an old school model basically. I mean, MMOs have pretty much always been. It's like you can play free, but you're not going to get the experience. You know?
With WoW, you got to pay monthly just to have access. And this, cool, you could let it. I don't know what happens if you let it lapse on Elder Scrolls. Maybe if someone plays it hardcore, they might know. But yeah, in my opinion, like I would say, people like get ready. If you really, really get into this game, you're gonna have to pay that monthly extra little bit.
I remember the days of the MMO, the $15 a month payment,
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then I stopped playing WoW because I didn't like feeling pressured to have to play, because I would phase in and out of playing MMOs, right? And with WoW, I felt like, oh my God, I'm paying for it every month. If I'm not playing, then it's like I'm wasting my money, and it was too stressful.
But if you stop paying though, it wouldn't save your
I don't know. I actually don't know for Elder Scrolls how that worked.
It wouldn't have done that.
It would save. Oh, okay. But then it was like if I went a month and I paid the subscription and I didn't play, I was like, oh my God, I just lost my money. I just paid them for nothing. With Elder Scrolls, I assume if you stop paying and then repay, you can have access to your stuff. Otherwise, probably that everyone would be mad all the time. I don't know.
Gotcha.
It's not hinged on you having a subscription to the service.
Well, I mean, so the only reason I asked that is because Kai sold me on it. So he was talking to me off stream and basically said that you get the crowns, you get the crafting material, you get the extra space in your bag. So that was the reason why it was worth the $15 per month. So
yeah.
There you go. So we're all excited for ESO. Is what I took away from that.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try it out and see how, because I wanted to play this for a long time, but I'm gonna try and see how much I like. Because $15 a month is a bit, you know.
Yeah, well, it's
you know.
nice. You can play the base for free and see if you like it.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Do you
I'm
guys
getting
know,
everything
like-
else. I'm getting all the Greymore stuff. I just bought it, so
Well, you
all
might
that
as well.
will be there.
Oh, you're getting it all! Yay!
Yeah, I already bought it. I just
You
bought
pre-ordered? I'm gonna pre-order soon. I'm gonna pre-order it soon.
it. Man, it's $16, $17. He just said everything there. I just bought
Except,
it.
yeah,
Well,
but now there is
That's
the-
elsewhere.
That's elsewhere. Yeah. Now there's the Greymore expansion that's coming
okay.
that everybody's got. But yeah, but
Oh, no,
that
that's
gives you
like-
a lot of content right there.
Yeah, that's like hold
Yeah.
on. Let me see. That was like 30, 40.
Germany,
that-
don't forget that we can play that game for 2 days when it launches on Stadia,
Mhm.
and then we have a commitment starting on the 19th.
What do you mean?
The Last of Us
Last of Us 2, baby.
Ah,
Right.
boo this man! This
No.
is a Stadia podcast. Boo this man!
Can't boot it,
All
man.
right, let's get rid of the news. Let's just
this
talk
day.
Last of Us. How's it
Okay.
going, guys?
Yeah, how's it going, Last of Us crew?
Come on.
About to stage of last. This is the Last of Us box. All right.
The Last of Us box.
All right. Okay.
The Last of Us
$15.
box.
I cannot with y'all
You
right now.
bought it just for that. That's
Bought it.
crazy.
You
It's
just said you
bad.
buy an
Watch those-
Xbox. You just said you buy an Xbox for Fable. So I don't wanna
Okay,
get crazy.
okay.
I wanna
Yeah,
get
you're right.
crazy.
No, you're right. You're
All
right.
right.
I'm not gonna play Last of
All
Us,
right.
but I'm gonna watch you guys play The Last of Us. That's my
Whoa.
plan.
Oh, it's such a good game. Like, oh my
Yeah, I-
lord.
Man. And I went ahead and bought those other exclusives. They were really cheap. You know,
Yeah.
I got to commend Sony on that. They dropped the prices of their exclusives really fast and really steep. Like,
They do.
Did you guys pick your alliance for Elder Scrolls? Are we done with Elder Scrolls, or can we keep talking about it? Because
Well,
you have to pick a certain class to play or a certain faction to play
Yeah.
together. So
Oh,
I
wow.
heard that Trash Mob is going to be
yeah,
Ebonheart
that's
Pack. Link, is it Ebonheart Pack? Ashes?
Yeah, let me.
Ash
let
is
us
in the
know.
chat, so he can probably tell you for sure.
Someone in the chat, let us know with the Trash Mob because I
Ebonheart.
want to pick correctly.
yeah.
In which case, I'm going to be a Dark Elf Necro.
Oh, that is exactly what I'm doing because I
Are you
want to
going
be.
to be Necromancer too?
Yeah, that's what I was
good.
thinking
we
about.
Can we can compare notes. We can compare notes.
Yeah,
Everyone,
I was looking
you're
at
the
it.
first person who said Necro, so I don't think we're going to be overloaded with the same class or anything. So
Is there a ESO channel in Trash Mob Discord?
yeah. It's
Okay.
pumping
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
I also-
everyone's talking about it. There's like some good videos to watch to get you started in there and stuff.
Okay, cool.
And I'll plug something else real quick too. Not that it has to be used, but I did just create about 5 days ago an ESO voice channel in the Stadia Talk Discord. So if anyone wants to
Good.
use it, you're absolutely able to use it. Again, we're probably going to be in different places. Like that happens all the time.
Yeah,
There's times we're in
yeah.
Meg's Discord. There's times we're over in the Trash Mob. I just wanted it to be ready so that way, if for any reason we were in mine, we had the ability just to be in that channel. So it's already set and ready to go.
And I mean, it's only group of 4 for the regular everyday content, so we're going to need a few rooms to jump in. So yeah, that's no issue. And
Yeah. That's a
Cool.
good shot though, Meg. I might need to go ahead and do if demand comes up, but do like an ESO A, ESO B, just so
Yeah.
we've got a couple rooms
a
set
few
up.
rooms. Yep, exactly. So yeah, Ash just says I created Trash Mob on Ebonheart. So guys, but you can make a different character and a different faction to play with other people.
Yeah. You get
Right,
up to 3
so-
characters to make, I think so.
So
Or more,
Ebonheart-
3 or more, I think. Yeah, and probably if you get the pro sub, you probably get more. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
you get
things
more,
at
yeah.
this point. I don't know, but maybe.
God, I cannot wait for that game. Like that's gonna time me. Listen, I don't know if tomorrow during this Baldur's Gate reveal they say anything. Okay, hold on, let me back up. If they drop the early access date and they say, well, guess what, guys? Early access starts today. Y'all,
Oh
go-
my God.
y'all, listen, I'm just gonna tell y'all,
Hey, bruh.
it's gonna be Chase left the chat. I'm gonna be gone.
Somebody's going
I
to
just told
somebody's
you guys
going
that I think they're gonna release this stuff to
If
compete
they
with
do
ESO.
that, let me tell y'all something.
what I
If
think.
y'all do, my wife is crazy.
You
She
did
wants me
say
to
that,
power
Giovanni.
wash
You
the
did
house.
say that.
I think.
She
I
wants
mean,
me
it's
to-
gonna be somewhere around this time, man. I'm telling you.
If they do that tomorrow, I just want to let y'all know I'm getting a divorce. I need someone's address. And I need somewhere to stay.
Oh, shit.
I just need
Listen,
two
I got
cans.
serious, you guys. So
2 cans of potted meat and a bottle of Fuji water, and I'll be fine with my Baldur's Gate. That's all I need.
Listen, I got MM on that hype train on it, man. I cannot
Yeah.
wait, y'all, for this game. I am so hyped.
Yep.
It's gonna be exciting.
they said in the chat, working is overrated. I feel you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel you.
Oh, okay.
Just get yourself fired, collect on unemployment. We'll be good for a while.
Yep, exactly. It's the way to do it. That's the ticket.
So before we move on to the breaking news from earlier today, my 3 games would be Super Smash Bros., Spider-Man, and Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah.
What?
What was that?
Wait a minute. What was that?
What was the last one?
Banjo-Kazooie.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
no.
yeah. You're disrespecting yourself, man.
I'm sorry. It's this whiskey. I just.
So
Banjo.
hell yeah. Well, it'd be Gears normally, but I want Banjo to make us come back. So Rare is
Banjo,
a company owned by Microsoft nowadays, which created GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Donkey Kong is originally from Rare.
Yeah.
Until Nintendo took care of it. And Killer Instinct is another one.
Killer Instinct. Great.
What else is Rare? I don't know. Those are the main ones though. But yeah.
Jet Force Gemini.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Conquer. Now you got me
Battletoads.
going. Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Hell yeah, Battletoads. What a game.
Yeah,
yes.
man. Rare is they're
Meg thought. What, you thought I just sneezed?
Yeah, I
what,
thought you were
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Yo, MM, you guys see Derek's comment.
MM2K, I got you, brother. I got a second bedroom and a gigabyte.
Oh, there you go. All set.
There you go. So, the breaking news today is apparently our good old friends at Warner Brother Gaming, which is known for such titles as the Batman Arkham series, Lego. They own properties like Mortal Kombat, another big series you might have heard of. Harry Potter is another series that comes from the Warner Brothers IP. AT&T, which owns Warner, is looking at selling the Warner Brothers gaming division, which could be estimated to be about $4 billion, which is a lot of cheddar. And currently, there's a couple of companies interested, or at least showing interest, and that's Take-Two Interactive, Electronic Arts, and Activision Blizzard. Activision Blizzard. There, I sneezed that time. So, obviously, the 3 bigger companies out there in the world are interested in picking up some really heavy assets. So, DC Comics, Harry Potter, Lego, Game of Thrones, like Mortal Kombat. These are huge, huge, huge names. So, obviously, that number is going to be very, very large.
Who's entering the elevator?
Yeah, I just heard that.
What?
Never mind. Just keep going.
That's it. Good night, everybody. No.
right.
So, do you guys think that Google should throw their hat in the ring, or is this something that Google is just going to stay away from? They have the cheddar for it, but I don't know if they are interested in buying Warner.
Not for those $4 billion. I mean, that ain't happening.
For real.
All right, good talk. I guess I should give you guys something more to go off of than that. So, do you guys think this will actually happen? Do you think we're going to see Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, which is the official name for it, land with one of these companies? Do you think it has a favorite ahead of the game, or do you think it's just not going to actually go through? And AT&T is just trying to gauge interest, if you will. Chase, I'll start with you.
Can you ask the question? I'm sorry, y'all.
Do you think any of these companies are actually going to complete this deal? So do you think any of these have a favorite to be out in front to pick up the WB gaming industry or gaming division? Is there a favorite?
Yeah, I goofed earlier today on the side mission saying that I thought that Activision had already tapped out, all their resources, but after reviewing my comments, they were absolutely incorrect. It was Microsoft. I thought I was right on that. I think the one that makes the most sense, that has the most money right now and is willing to make probably a significant move because they need to make a significant move, it ain't Activision, it's EA. So if I had to put money on it, that's who I think probably puts everything on the table for those properties that they can. Because if they get that, as much as I want to just say to everybody that would be horrific and terrible, I think it makes the most sense to me. I think that's the one that's going to win out. Take-Two doesn't have the capital. Activision, they're not going to be interested in trying to outbid EA on that if EA drops some serious cash on the table. they'll just say, we're good with Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like they can afford to just be like, nah, we're good with Call of Duty. We're good with World of Warcraft. Like we're good for a minute. We don't need to go and overextend our hand. But EA, I think EA's in a different position. They're kind of, I don't know how to say it. It's weird because they're more, I don't know if this is going to make sense, y'all. And somebody please tell me if it doesn't when I'm talking about this, but their properties like Jedi, Fallen Order, like FIFA, Madden, like those are consistent, but it's the stuff that's in between that's just been like not great. Like there's been issues with the Battlefield franchise. There's been issues with other things. Like, I don't know. I think they're the company that needs, that has the most to gain.
Yeah.
That's just how I'm trying to say it. I don't know if I articulated that correctly.
Yeah, I think EA probably has the best chance of coming through with this. We talked about in the side mission. I hope they don't, but I'm kind of with you. I just don't see anyone else picking up Warner Brothers because that is going to cost a lot of money that I don't know if anyone's willing to spend right out the gate because they're going to need, I think, an immediate game ready to go. That's going to help make that money back. I think a Batman game would do just that, which may or may not be in the works, but and there's rumor of a Harry Potter RPG somewhere out there, which could be a big deal too. So, I mean, they have big properties. I think whoever ends up with them won't have a problem getting their money back eventually, but it's just if they're willing to spend the amount that AT&T may be asking for, which AT&T just bought Warner not that long ago. So, I mean, if they're already trying to sell a division, granted, they're not in the gaming market really. So, I mean, they're just trying to get rid of something that they really don't have any expertise in. I get that. And this is a good way for them to recoup money from maybe a little losses they've hit recently. So this is big news if it ends up going to another company. So, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a little bit overzealous about this, but I think that if Google does pick this up, man, that the product itself may not be worth $4 billion, and I think Google can talk them down. Of course, you always oversell when you're doing this, right? Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone from AT&T, quote unquote, leaked this themselves. Yeah. And you always, overextend. But if Google can pick this up and they get not only the Batman franchise, but Mortal Kombat franchise, but then they would also be the publisher for Cyberpunk 2077. And I wonder what you guys think about this, because people are like, well, the agreements are already there, but whenever there's switching of the guards that happen like this in gaming, there might be bylines that overwrite what was already etched in stone. Prime example is Mass Effect. When EA bought Mass Effect, they didn't have to honor those agreements with Microsoft. They renegotiated them and then they kept it exclusive.
And the first game they released was the greatest Mass Effect game, Mass Effect 2 MM2K.
No, 2 was okay.
Shut the head. Keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
And more recently, Obsidian with Outer Worlds.
Yep.
Remember when Microsoft bought them? That deal that they had with Private Division could have been null and void, and they renegotiated that. So just because there's already been a deal struck and there's some exclusive deal why I think it's not coming to Stadia, or why it's always going to not be day and date. That could be null and void if they buy them. So, and that would go, that would be some big time brass mind share. You know what I mean? That they would be showing.
It's facts.
So yeah, I'd be very interested in seeing that come. Can't believe you think Mass Effect 3 is better though, by the way. So,
dude, oh my, Brian,
it looks better. I'll give you that.
Can I ask you a question, Brian? Did you play the Krogan World version? Did you play the Krogan World? Did your choices take you there on Mass Effect 3?
Trying to remember how I took care of the genophage, because I don't remember how I did it.
Yeah, if you didn't make the Krogan World, then I can understand. And that's what was so dope about that game, is that your change, that what you did affected like what you saw in the game. So it forced you, I mean, it would not force you, but it would make you go all the way back and start all over again. That's why I love that game.
It's a series always worth revisiting. I always go back and
Absolutely. I just hated the fracking into. I know this isn't Mass Effect Prime, but Prime podcast. But the instead of like traveling to different planets, all that fracking into,
that did suck. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
All right, we can talk about that elsewhere because I think we lost about 95% of the people in our podcast and then everyone else in the chat.
They left. Yeah.
Ryan, did you saw the message I sent about Batman? I don't know if you guys talked about Batman before.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I copied the link wrong.
So did
I did. I know I
copied the words.
I did too. That's why I was like, this didn't do nothing. So I'm glad I wasn't the only one. That was embarrassing.
No, I did too.
Okay, good. All right, so
it is a leakage of a potential Batman game coming to the PS5 and PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I'm so ready for another one.
About it.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's serious. Oh man,
Arkham series was good, right?
All right, raise of hands. Who hasn't played Arkham?
I did. Ha!
Oh,
I did.
I was expecting you to do this.
I know I could tell you were trying to single me out, but I played it. I didn't beat it or anything, but my friend had it, and so I've seen it and I played a little bit. So there you go.
Oh, so you cheated the question by saying I played it, and by play it you played like 5 minutes.
I played a lot of games. I'm not saying I beat them all, but I played them. Don't give me that, he says.
You played through the Arkham series, right?
Not the whole series, but definitely one in the second one. I beat those. Yeah, I fell in love.
Asylum, right? Yep. Arkham Asylum was the first, then the Arkham City. Am I right?
Yep, and then Arkham Knight was the third one. Oh, actually, back up. Arkham Origins was the third one. That was made by No, it wasn't Rocksteady. It was can't remember who took care of that one. It was a separate company, and then Arkham Knight was the official third game in the continuity. Origins was like a prequel. But yeah, so there's been 4 official Arkham games, and it's definitely something people have been waiting for a new one of. So this is kind of what Eddie's showing, that it's a teaser image from a future Arkham game. Although that's kind of I won't say that. Never mind. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so anyone that has questions in the chat, go ahead and drop that now. I think we're getting to a good wrap-up point because we're almost at the 4-hour mark, and I don't know how we do this every time. Just time flies by, I think, personally. So it's been a mildly quiet week, I think, in terms of Stadia news. Wouldn't you guys agree? Outside of what just happened, I think, in the last 2 days. It's been pretty quiet.
I agree, but I think the weekend will be very hot with Just Dance.
Yeah, God, I don't know how to. I'm gonna have to start practicing tonight, so I don't know. You're gonna look at your friends list and you're gonna see Just Dance next to my name. It's gonna be really weird. And I'm gonna have to play too much of it that I can't refund it, so it's staying in the library. But yeah, so we'll check the chat here, see if you guys have anything else to add to what we got, and then unless you guys have anything else you want to drop before we go into wrap up mode, I think that should do it. All is quiet on the Western Front. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do our last plugs before we get out of here then. Germani, where can people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/LXIV Gold and Twitter at LXIV Gold.
There you go. Eddie.
Twitter.com/Eddie_player1, Eddie player1 on YouTube, or just go EddiePlayer1.com and redirects you everywhere.
There you go. And then show that case off one more time.
Oh yeah. We are I guess in the last 40 units.
Eddie case.
I don't have it here, the cable, but soon you wouldn't need the cable anymore.
Yeah, you don't even need the cable, but it comes with one and a clip. How cool is that?
You need to charge your controller, right?
The claw.
Controller not included.
Controller not included. Come on.
It's always very important to mention.
This is an awesome way to play it. Yeah, guys, go grab it at Amazon or at links. Is on the description below. It's running out, I guess, probably on the next month. I had about 40 cases left. I think it's going to run out in the next 40 days or so. Yep.
Perfect. And then that's case.stadiaplayer1.com still, right? It hasn't
Yep.
been changed. Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
yep.
And then Chase, you before I get too far, Germani and Eddie, when can we see you guys next online in terms of like streams and stuff like that? So Germani, go ahead and start us off.
Oh yeah, well tomorrow I'll be on. It looks like I'll be doing the Baldur's Gate stream actually with Chase, the reaction stream. So I'm agreeing to that. I think that's a big deal for my man, and I'm excited too because I want to see what's get this man so excited about this game, and I hope that they drop this early access tomorrow because that'd be amazing, and I'd love to be there to see that reaction. Whatever the hell it is, I want to be there for that reaction. But I also do. Normally, I would do my multiplayer mayhem during that time around 12 p.m. Central Time. So what I'll do is after that, I'll just go ahead. I'll actually dual stream with you for your reaction and everything, and then just go from there when we end that. So yeah, you can catch me on my channel. I'll be live at 12 p.m. Central Time.
Perfect. Eddie, when can we see you next online?
Live streams, guys, happen ad hoc. So please turn on the notification bell when you get the live stream. I'll probably be streaming. Well, my idea is to be finishing The Last of Us 1 this week at afternoon time. And Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. we have This Week on Stadia Unfiltered. This week it's a very interesting guest. We're going to have the Nerf Report guy, a.k.a. Brian Chappelle. He's going to be joining us on this Tuesday.
Awesome, Eddie.
Are you streaming Last of Us gameplay?
Yeah, at afternoons usually.
Oh, okay.
I did a small streaming on the very first 2 or 3 hours. I need to do a longer session right now if I want to finish before the release of the second.
Let me ask you this real quick. How long is the gameplay? If you play it, pretty
16. Well, if you don't want to be completionist,
right?
Just want to let me go over the story.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the 16 to 18 hours because you're gonna die a couple times until you understand the mechanics.
Yeah.
So if you're playing on normal, 16, 18 hours.
I'm gonna go ahead and play normal. I just want to get to the story this time around.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
And go enjoy it. It's a hell of a game.
Yeah, I'm just getting started. Yeah.
So good. So good. Chase, where can people find you and when can they see you next?
So youtube.com/Stadia Talk, on Twitter @PhantomUFCFan. I've actually got a load of content tomorrow. I completely booked myself out. So 9 a.m. I've got Andy Morphs joining for a Stadia Spotlight. I'm looking forward to talking with him. 10 a.m. is the normal Saturday morning Stadia Talk. So bring your coffee, bring your favorite breakfast item, your snack, whatever you want to do.
And your receipts.
Sorry, and your receipts.
I had to.
Yeah. We just have a laid back conversation. It's almost I almost look at it as like a kind of like an open kind of mic type of thing where I just talk with the community. So it's a fun type of engaging live stream. And then at 12 p.m. I'm doing the Guerrilla Collective showcase live stream reaction, and Baldur's Gate should be one of the first presenters. So I'm looking forward to doing the live stream, and I'll mention who's going to be on there. Go ahead.
You're going to be doing just Baldur's Gate, or going to be doing the whole show?
I think just Baldur's Gate, because otherwise my wife will kill me. So probably just that. Although I will tell everybody that showcase tomorrow is going to be really good. There's a lot of really good games that are being highlighted. If you don't have anything to do for a couple hours, I would highly encourage you to go check it out. Because Sega's also part of that. So, and they haven't talked about what they're going to be showing. So that should be interesting. But so 6-4 is going to be joining Project Storm, MM2K, Stadia Revolution, and Link TV. So they're all going to be joining.
Beautiful lineup.
Wow.
MM2K.
Wow.
Wait. Before we do MM,
that was like what's the name of the guy again? Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Oh, Wilson! Wow.
It's just a great group of names there. It's going to be awesome.
Wow.
So you guys.
Germani, show everyone that watch face that's on your smartwatch right now. That's GoldenEye, isn't it?
I saw it too. I saw it earlier. I wasn't gonna put my man on the spot, but I'm like, bro, you rocking GoldenEye right now?
Wait, let me see if I could show you there.
Yeah.
What's that right there?
Let's go then.
That's
Beautiful.
the golden gun, yeah.
Love it.
Is that
Yeah.
on a fossil?
It's
No,
a gear.
Samsung Galaxy.
All right.
Yep.
By the way, I was checking on Facebook earlier. There was somebody playing Guilt on a smartwatch.
What?
That's
It
nuts.
looked
Wow.
like he had hacked the smartwatch. He was running Shadow, and Shadow, he opened Stadia, and he opened the touch control on the smartwatch.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Mm.
Oh,
Wait,
so
like
he was
the-
controlling it with his watch.
No.
He was actually playing it. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
The
was-
game was on his watch?
the game was on his watch with touch controls, but
Right.
fingers are
Oh
too
my
big.
God.
To control.
Right. But it's still crazy to know that.
Yeah,
This
like
is
you
even
can
something
run-
you
So
could
cool.
you literally got the real game running on your watch. Like,
Yeah.
even though you probably can't play it, it still is running.
I know how bad the battery drains on the watch Germani is using
Mm.
just keeping the weather updated. I can't imagine beaming a game to it. It's like, okay, you got 5 minutes of gameplay and you're dead. But MM2K, where can people find you?
Oh,
And when
Jesus.
can we see you next?
Everywhere. You can find me MM2K on this platform, Stadia Dosage on this platform. Mighty Most 2000. We're coming back full strength next week on Twitch. And PNTS Network, broadbandbullies.com. And again, as a reminder, breaking it here, Stadia, Jesus Christ, my podcast, my Stadia podcast is coming to
Stadia
Anchor.
Stream Connect. There you go. I
Yeah,
did it for
Stadia
you.
Stream. Thank you, Brian. It's always up to you to remember it.
I got you.
Stadia Stream Connect is coming to Anchor.fm and your favorite audio podcast starting next week. Stay tuned for that.
Perfect. I think I'm good there. I'm adding you to my auto host list, so make sure we're good there. You're probably gonna have like some recorded version of you saying that, so you don't have to keep doing it every time.
I know. I need
Third time I've had you do that, and you're like,
Give me a
here we go.
PLP.
It's you can find me on PN. It's not working. You can find me on Broadband Board. You can find me on Twitch.tv. So how many Twitter handles do you have? 4?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I'm known to have like
20.
75. Yeah, they said
So
I have
you
75
started the whole
accounts.
sock account movement.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah.
You started it. All right, Meg, where can people find you?
YouTube.com/MegatronX.
Mhm.
That's the most important. And if you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, Meg_Atron_X. And I will
Brian?
probably be live next on Sunday. Today's actually my mom's birthday, and so tomorrow I'm going to go visit her.
Aw.
We're allowed to like group up with one other household as per our isolation lockdown rules. So I grouped up with my mom. So we're gonna go and take her cake. And she might watch this tomorrow. So I don't want to tell you what we got her. So
Don't say it
it's
on
a
stream.
it's a surprise. It's a surprise. But Mom, we're coming tomorrow and we're bringing cake and your gift, and it's gonna be great. Okay.
So you just
So yeah.
spoiled it?
So then Sunday I'll stream. So catch me live on Sunday.
Right. Well, happy birthday, Mamatron X.
If she's still with us.
She's in bed. She's in bed, but she'll probably watch it tomorrow.
In
Because
chat,
it's 1 a.m., right?
It's 1 a.m. Yeah.
I believe next time we're live here, Meg should have reached the famous 1K subs.
Oh, I don't know, guys. We'll
if
see.
you are not
We'll
sub
see.
Meg yet, go ahead sub and
You'll
let's
get there
go-
soon
let's
before
go
you get
1K
So,
subs.
yeah, sub everybody, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
All right. So before I guess I do my quick spiel, I want to just actually, no, I'll do this last. All right. So, of course, you can find me here on this channel you're watching. Twitch.tv, Club Stadia is where you can find me streaming games. And then, of course, tomorrow after Chase is done with his stuff, we'll be doing Just Dance, a benefit for Black Lives Matter. Ray, I want to point this out because I believe he already did this. And Chase has already contributed to, which is an amazing amount. Ray has donated to the fund already. I believe he dropped 100 in there as well. So as soon as we hit 250, I was going to put 250 myself. I'll get like my little playlist together. I'm going to dance for the world to see. I know people that I work with follow me on here, so they'll probably see it too, which is going to be awesome to talk about on Monday, but I'm excited for it. We'll see.
You're gonna wear a sweatband?
I thought about buying one. I thought about it. But you'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out for sure. But yeah, we'll do that after Chase gets done, and then we'll be kind of going from there. But I think unless you guys have any further comments, I think the best way to leave this is only one way we can do this, because we did not share this earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, this.
The console trailer for the
Yeah, I was
PS.
wondering what was, yeah, what was gonna happen.
I can't believe this.
Here we go. It gets good.
Yes, it does.
Bro, it looks like an Instapot.
Chicken chamber.
And a cross-platform compatibility. Oh, Jesus.
Yep. Check this out.
True 4K, 120 frames per second. They're
Killed
stupid.
him. Killed him. Watch this shit here.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Oh,
amazing.
We know what game we can play there now, right? We saw the trailer for the game as well.
The
Oh, right.
KFC
The game
dating
from-
simulation.
Yep.
Oh
That's
my
at least
God.
they have a console exclusive right out the gate. God
Right out
damn,
the
Google, get
gate.
on it.
Out the gate.
Chris said, "Oh my God, it's an air fryer."
The chicken chamber.
That's so funny because you've got consoles overheating rumors, and they've been listening to all of the drama and the memes, like the true 4K,
Yep.
120 frames. This is great. I just love it.
Coming in November is Chicken of Duty.
That must be TV, yeah.
They
Steven
should
not
have teamed up
inside.
with PUBG because it's winner chicken
Oh, yeah,
dinner.
exactly.
That'd have been great. That'd have been a great one.
I'd be using
Yeah.
a KFC parachute all day.
Just show like
Yeah.
their exclusive,
Colonel.
their first exclusive or something, some kind of
Yep.
PUBG reference. That'd have been great. Yeah.
All right, folks. I think it's a good place to wrap it up. We've had a lot of fun talking the last 2 weeks, and we introduced a lot of outside gaming stuff this week because PS5 had some big stuff going on. So we had to talk about that, and we had some more music in the background. I'm not sure who to blame this time, so I'm not going to assume. Can you guys hear? No,
No.
I heard something. No, okay, that's it. See ya. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time from now. Again, if you haven't followed these wonderful people, do so because they produce some top tier content, and they wouldn't be here if they didn't. I'm just kidding. They're great people. So as soon as you guys start to suffer, it getting replaced. I'm just kidding. So I appreciate them joining me on as always. They're just always a blast to talk with. So I want to thank you guys in the chat for hanging out with us and keeping the chat very lively. Of course, I want to thank all the super chats. At this point, I can't even refer back to them all, but I do want to thank you guys for doing that because it's, as we always say, it's never necessary, but it's awesome to show support to us, and we love the support you guys give us. And I think unless you guys have anything else, that is it.
That's it. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, guys.